Also, it is day 2 of the Vonza Make Money Online Summit. Like, if you missed yesterday, you missed out on a whole lot. Like, it was jammed packed with so many amazing speakers. We talked about AI, we talked about branding, we talked about social media, we talked about getting your clarity, we talked a little bit about health. You missed a great one if you did not catch it. But the good thing is you still have some time to catch a replay. However, the replay is not going to be available for a very long time. So you got to make sure that you watch it. But what's even better is if you did not upgrade to be a VIP status, I suggest you do so, because yesterday's session was 4 hours long and you don't know when you're going to be able to sit 4 hours and watch it. So you can watch it at your own leisure if you upgrade to VIP status, because we give you access to the replay forever so you guys can watch it, right? So that is what you want to make sure you do. And you can very easily do that by going to vonzasummit.com, the same way that you registered before, but just, click on that VIP upgrade. And not only that, you'll get some free gifts when you do that as well. You're going to get a course. You're going to get some digital products that you can resell if you really want to, and so much more. Oh, and you get access to the virtual VIP party on Friday after the summit. So make sure that you guys do that. But without further ado, we're going to get this thing started, because I want to make sure that we are staying on time and giving all of our speakers enough time to be able to present. So I have the amazing Dr. CC Brooks, okay? She is going to kick things off today with talking to you about how to optimize your health so that way you can hit your career goals and your business goals. So I'm going to bring her up here really quickly. Hey.
What an intro. If that doesn't get you ramped up, let's go.
Yes. So guys, she is going to get you guys started. So I am going to, exit, and she's going to have the entire virtual stage for herself. So let me remove myself and then get things started. And she has a presentation for you as well, so you guys can follow these slides. But remember, if you are VIP status, you will actually get these slides so you can have them for yourself. But you have to upgrade. And just a little disclaimer, when I uploaded them, they kind of got a little off, but you'll get the point, okay?
Everything will be fine. Hey, everyone. I'm so excited to be here. I am Dr. Cece. I am a family nurse practitioner, but I hold my doctorate in nursing practice. I'm also a business owner. So I own 2 businesses. One is a local medical practice here in Georgia, and 2 is an online educational platform, The Discovery Doc. I'm also, most importantly, a mom of 4. And those kiddos are little feral children, range from ages 1 all the way to 9. So absolutely believe me when I say I understand the constant juggle of running a business and growing a brand and managing a house and somehow trying to stay healthy in the process. As entrepreneurs, we are driven and ambitious and dedicated to our work, but most of us have put our health on the back burner while chasing our business goals. I know for me, especially at the beginning, that was massive. Skipping meals, running off of caffeine, and just sheerly pushing through exhaustion to check one more thing off of my to-do list. I have been there, but I don't want you to be there, because the truth is our business is only as strong as we are, and your health is not a luxury. That's the biggest take home today, is that your health is not a luxury. It is an investment in your success, because when you feel good, you show up better for your business, your family, and yourself. So today we're going to go through a holistic wellness blueprint for busy entrepreneurs, which it's a simple, realistic framework to help you optimize your health while balancing business and family. We're going to cover mindset, simple wellness shifts we can make, a supplement regimen tailored for busy entrepreneurs. And that's where y'all really want to be a VIP here, because I actually hyperlink all of my favorites. I'm very picky when it comes to supplements. So become a VIP so you can get access to that. And also a practical self-care and boundary setting strategies. Not enough of us set boundaries. This is absolutely not about adding more to your already very full plate. It's about working smarter, not harder when it comes to your health. Because when you thrive, y'all, everything around you thrives too. So Diving in, module 1, we're starting with the foundation of it all, which is our mindset. If you do not truly believe that your health is a priority, no strategy, supplement, or self-care routine will stick. It all begins with shifting how you view your own well-being. We tend to, I feel, as entrepreneurs, wear a kind of burnout as a badge of honor, and that just should not be the norm. That shouldn't be the case. We should not have to push aside our health and think, hey, we'll get to it later. Let me do this first and I'll get to this later, because later never comes, you guys. It actually just never comes. It is now that we need to be doing this. And that cycle leads to fatigue and brain fog and decreased productivity. How we shift that is making sure our health is a strategic investment in our business and our future. It matters because more energy is more productivity. Better mental clarity is stronger decision-making abilities. Less stress means enhanced creativity. And when we have a stronger immune system, it means less downtime. That all starts with how you view and talk to yourself about your health. Reframing that, a very easy way to do it is starting with I am statements. Get into your subconscious, get out of that logical state and into your subconscious and speak to him or her and say, I care about my health. My health gives me more time and energy for my business. Not, I don't have time for my health, or I don't have time to do this, or I can't do this. No, you can and you will. Instead of saying self-care is a luxury, remind yourself it's a non-negotiable. If I want to be a high achiever, my health is a non-negotiable. Speaking those I am statements will help you declare and become what you want to be. Reframing rest as productive. This is massive. We'll talk a little bit more about this in a minute. Rest is not a waste of time. It is an absolute power move that is needed. We have to adopt a growth mindset for health. We do this in business all the time. We have small strategic changes that lead to these massive results in business, right? Do the same thing for your health, micro moments. And recognize stress and burnout as a signal. It's not a lifestyle. It's not a badge of honor. Burnout should never be the norm, and we can really prevent it. And we can do so by creating identity-based goals, not just saying, I'll exercise more, declaring it. I am someone who values movement daily. Your words, it's incredible once you start speaking to yourself in a certain way. Your words truly shape your identity. So speak them with conviction. Your actions will follow. Next, ma'am. Keep going, one more. So integrating our wellness into a daily routine without making it feel like another task or something that's overwhelming is very possible. We just need a strategy to do so. The key here is sustainability. Your wellness habits need to fit into your current lifestyle in a way that feels natural and achievable, not forced. So if you break it down into a couple of different pillars, morning routine, nutrition, movement, and rest, it makes it a little bit easier. Morning routine, how you start off your day, sets the tone for the rest of the day. Don't dive into the emails or into social media. Focus on fueling your mind, body, spirit, soul first. Hydration. Don't go right to your caffeine. Here with water, it's not all about quantity as it is about quality. We don't need to be someone who drinks a gallon of water in a day, but we do need to make sure the quality of the water that we are drinking is efficient to fuel our cells and hydrate our cells. So I like to add in electrolytes. I'm a stickler when it comes to ingredients and dosages. So I like a few different ones that actually taste good. Cure Hydration is my favorite. Make sure you're replenishing your hydration first thing in the morning before anything else. Next is movement. It doesn't even have to be 5 to 10 minutes. It can be 1 to 2 minutes. Get out of bed, stretch, do some toe touches, walk around your bed, go walk to the mailbox. I don't care. Just do something that helps to move your lymphatic system, increase circulation, and get your energy flowing. Arguably, I would say the most important in the morning is sunlight exposure. Don't go right to your screen. Avoid screen within the first hour. Instead of checking those notifications as soon as you wake up, journal, pray, meditate, set your intention. When we go to our screens first thing in the morning, it actually spikes our cortisol and leaves us in more of a reactive mode instead of a state of clarity. When we get sunlight exposure, it resets that natural rhythm. If you're waking up before the sun, there's really cool devices, a light therapy box that can actually mimic natural sunlight to help just reset those hormones. Go ahead. Going into nutrition, we all know how we are supposed to eat, right? That is essentially common knowledge, but really hyperfixating on protein and good fats. I think the good fat aspect doesn't get enough attention here, those are going to help sustain your energy throughout the rest of the day. So, of course, how we nourish our body impacts our energy and mental clarity, and it allows us to be resilient through the day. If we're not fueling our body properly, then we cannot possibly have the energy that we need to get through the day. And I'm not talking about highly refined foods or processed foods or high sugar content, because that is going to take your glucose and spike it up and then plummet it down. So to keep your glucose more regulated throughout the day consistently, focus on the high proteins, focus on the good fats. I've listed some good ones out here. And I want you to know that as a mom on the go who owns 2 businesses, it is possible. I don't meal prep. I mean, I have a husband, bless his soul, who cooks. So I'm a little biased there and a little bit spoiled. But when I'm on the go, I can go into a grocery store. I can go into a gas station and find a high protein snack. We just have to get to know ingredients and get to know those macronutrients that are really going to support our day. I've written out a couple ones that you can meal prep before, the day before, that are high protein, good fat, that y'all can look through at a later time. I want to get to the nitty gritty. If we keep on going, we'll get into movement. If you want to switch the slide. Thank you. Movement is not just about structured workouts. I think this is something as entrepreneurs or just people in general, if we can't get that 1 hour workout, if we can't get to that 1 hour HIIT class, CrossFit, yoga session, then everything else doesn't matter. And that's just not true. And there's 2 types of people here. One who's used to working out and kind of had that where we were working out an hour a day and now we can't because we're too busy, or the people who have not gotten to the point where exercise is naturally incorporated into their day. The point here is that it doesn't always have to look like that. Movement is movement is movement. And the point of movement is to kind of combat how stagnant we are in our day and the certain positions that we are sitting in all day. We want to combat that and just get our blood flow, circulation, nutrients, oxygen moving. And that can look very different. It can be 2 minutes. If you're in between clients, take a lap around the building. You can take a quick walk outside, walk up and down the hallway. You can get up from your desk, do 5-10 air squats. You can go up against a wall and do 5-10 push-ups against the wall. You can do walking lunges, standing marches. Those little micro moments, even if it's just 10 of them, really matter at the end of the day. Something that I'm trying to implement in my office that no one will get on board with, I wonder why, is every hour on the hour, I want everyone up and screaming in the hallways, everyone give me 10 push-ups or 10 squats or 10 sit-ups. And it's funny and fun, and half my staff doesn't do it. But the point is, we're getting up, we're getting out of that just stagnation and moving. It can also just be fun in terms of last night, I was exhausted. I got home from work. My son asked me to play soccer outside. I'm not about to run around and chase him all day and, kick the soccer ball. I moved in probably a 4-foot radius and kicked the ball back and forth with him. And guess what? That is movement. Give yourself some grace. That is enough. Those small movements throughout the day will break up the sedentary kind of lifestyle that's most of us entrepreneurs have. Rest is a big one. Sleep is your most underrated productivity tool. If you are not prioritizing quality sleep, your business performance and decision-making skills are going to suffer. Set a consistent sleep and wake schedule. Google will tell you, and I even wrote down here, 7 to 9 hours per night. I want you to listen to your body instead. Not everybody fits in that box. My husband, 5 to 6 hour sleeper. If he gets 8, 9 hours, he's groggy and miserable. I'm like a 9 to 10 hour sleeper. Just listen to your body. Your body flows in a natural circadian rhythm that is unique to you. Listen to you, get to know you. We talked a little bit about this before. Exposure to natural sunlight in the morning regulates that cortisol melatonin cycle. We're going to talk about that cycle a little bit more in a minute. Reducing blue light at night helps to signal your body that it's time to go to sleep. So sunlight in the morning, dim lights at night. Avoiding screens before bed. I know this is so hard for a lot of us, but an hour to 2 before bed, you got to turn it off. That blue light from phones or laptops suppresses our melatonin, which is our sleep hormone, making it harder to fall asleep. If screens are necessary, use blue light blocking glasses. There's apps that you can download. You can actually, on laptops or phones or desktops, you can take off the blue light and turn it into dark mode. There's ways to decrease or minimize that exposure. Just like we have a morning routine, create a bedtime routine. And y'all, I don't just mean skincare routine. This should go beyond our skincare and brushing our teeth. Create a wind down routine that is putting your mind, your body, your spirit, your soul in a place where you are ready to receive and go to sleep. Some of us needs a little bit extra supplementation here to do that, to calm our CNS, our central nervous system. One way is magnesium L-threonate. I'll talk about some more ways in a second. Journal, read, breath work. Don't just take this time to doom scroll on your phone. That is not the time to do that at 11 o'clock at night. Epsom salt baths, you can add a little clary sage with lavender to help relax the body and optimize your sleep environment. 60 to 70 degrees, I know that sounds cold and dark, but it actually puts us into a deeper REM sleep much more easily. Reducing caffeine and alcohol before bed, those two disrupt our sleep cycles. These small shifts, you guys, we just don't pay attention to enough, and they'll absolutely help you thrive. Start with one habit, build from there. Let's go on to the nitty-gritty of it all. Okay, supplements. Let me be very clear here. Supplements in no way, shape, or form replace a healthy lifestyle. I want you guys getting all of your micronutrients from the nutrient-dense foods that you eat. However, supplements can be a very powerful tool to fill in the nutritional gaps, enhance brain function, support overall well-being, especially when we're on the go, our eating habits are inconsistent, we're working long hours, and we're stressed. A well-rounded regimen is going to help you with mental clarity, focus, energy, immune system resiliency, and stress adaptation. So let's jump in to the next slide. And here we'll start with foundational brain and energy support. So your brain is your biggest asset. You have got to fuel it properly. You cannot expect your brain to be working at 110% at all times if you are not enhancing it or supporting it. Number one, starting with a high quality multivitamin. Multis are honestly the bane of my existence. I despise them because most of them are filled with garbage ingredients, garbage dosages, synthetic ingredients, food dyes, sugars that are too high. There's so many on the market. I want you guys to be very, very choosy with the supplements that you are purchasing, spending your money on, and fueling your body with. When it comes to a multivitamin, my personal expectation is something like Intramax by Drucker Labs. This is a liquid multivitamin, but it is so much more. It has every micronutrient. So it has all of your vitamins, your minerals, your amino acids, your omegas. It even has a little bit of detox support in there and some gut health support. But most importantly, this multivitamin is carbon bonded and methylated. What does that mean? It means that carbon bonded means that all the nutrients in this multivitamin can actually come into your cells a lot easier, so you can absorb it easier. Methylated means all of the vitamins in there, particularly the B vitamins, are activated. We are all genetic mutants. Don't take it personally. We all are. We all have these little genetic SNPs that sometimes don't allow us to absorb nutrients or vitamins as well as we should be able to, or not activate them. That activation means that we have, let's say B12 is a good example. If you consume cyanocobalamin and you have a genetic SNP, we have to add something called a methyl group to that cyanocobalamin to turn it on to activate it for our body to then be able to absorb it. If you have a genetic SNP that doesn't allow you to do that, you're just peeing out that B12. You are not utilizing it. So whenever I offer supplements to anybody or my own patients, I make sure they're in their active form. So it doesn't matter who you are, you're going to be able to use it properly and absorb it. So Drucker Labs, their vitamins are already activated. Your body will absorb it. If we have other multis that maybe are not as comprehensive, I have two main things that we have to add on, omega-3s and a B complex. Omega-3s, of course, brain fuel, memory, reduces inflammation, but more importantly, I would say, is our cholesterol. We tend to view cholesterol as, oh, we want lower cholesterol. Lower cholesterol is good. And although that's partially true, it's a half truth. We want that LDL lower. The LDL are kind of like the bad kids at high school that you got to take home. The HDL is the school bus that takes them home. That HDL value doesn't get enough attention. That HDL value is fueled by these omega-3s. And that HDL value is the start to all of our hormones. So at the top of that is our cholesterol. Our cholesterol feeds into multiple different pathways. The two biggest ones I want to touch on here are the androgen hormones, which are our DHEA, testosterone, dihydrotestosterone, and then on this side are cortisol. So if we don't have enough cholesterol, that good cholesterol coming from good fats or the omegas, then your testosterone side, which is our oomph, our motivation, our we can kind of take on the world and tackle the world type of feeling, and our cortisol side, which is our stress response, are not going to act appropriately. Omegas are very, very important here, guys. Omega 950 is one of my favorites. B complex vitamins. So again, going back to the methylation, we don't just want to take a B vitamin if we don't know ourselves, if we don't know our genes. If we're taking one that has synthetic forms of B vitamins, we could just be urinating it out, and now you just have very expensive pee. So B vitamins, they're crucial for stress management, energy production. They are needed in pretty much every stage of the Krebs cycle, which we'll talk about again in a second. So I like to make sure that my B vitamins are methylated and active. Methyl Protect by Zymogen is a great one. Going on into stress resilience and adrenal support. Chronic stress depletes your adrenal glands and throws off your hormones. And it kind of makes the homeostasis between those hormones out of whack. If we go back to that androgen side of hormones, the testosterone and the cortisol, cortisol is produced by our adrenal glands. DHEA, which is the precursor to testosterone, is secreted by our adrenal glands. Our adrenal glands respond to stress or help us to wake up in the morning. So supplementing is a great way to help maintain the homeostasis between our stress response. The adaptogens that I like to do that, ashwagandha, rhodiola, holy basil, helps to regulate those cortisol levels. My favorite is Adrenal by RLC Labs. The nighttime HPA by Gaia Pro. So this comes back, one more little hormone chain I want to explain, is our cortisol and melatonin. Cortisol, when you wake up, it's going to be at 100% of its maximum. It literally is your wake hormone. From the time you wake up until noon, it falls down very sharply. And then from noon until when you go to bed, it kind of plateaus like this. So it changes over 24 hours. Well, cortisol depleting at nighttime is what allows melatonin to kick on. If your cortisol is not coming down, then your sleep hormone is not able to escalate here. So when we work late at night, when we're constantly stimulated by these screens, our cortisol is staying up and our melatonin is knocked down. That's why for a lot of people, melatonin doesn't work. It's just trying to play catch up, but it's not doing anything to bring down the cortisol. So to do that, something like Nighttime HPA by Gaia Pro will help tell the cortisol to sit down. Magnesium glycinate or L-threonate helps to calm the central nervous system, improve sleep, and ease muscle tension. I like Neuromag by Designs for Health. Last on this page is cognitive function and really for performance and focus. Going back to that Krebs cycle, which y'all probably thought you'd never hear about past high school biology. The Krebs cycle is massively important. It happens in the mitochondria. Mitochondria are the powerhouse of the cells. What does it produce? ATP. ATP is usable energy for legitimately every cell in the body. However, when we are stressed, when we are, sick, when we have chronic things going on, our cells can break apart too quickly. That's called oxidation. We want to fuel our ATP. To do so, we have to fuel the precursors, NADH, NAD, CoQ10, PQQ, even our B vitamins are in there. So I listed some supplements here that I like that are strictly for ATP support, mitochondrial support, and then fueling that NAD, which is like brain fuel and cellular fuel. You can go ahead and switch that slide there. Then we get into gut and immune support. So your GI tract, your gut, it is your second brain. If it is inflamed, your energy and your focus will suffer. It is responsible for everything from regulating our hormones, our neurotransmitters, our absorbing our nutrients, making bile acids, and everything in between. So to protect that, we want to help flourish the garden that is our microbiome. Our GI tract has flowers that we want blooming and weeds that we want knocked down. Rotate your probiotics. It will help to rediversify those flowers, but also knock down those weeds. And we want to make sure that your gut is not permeable. So that means our GI tract is supposed to be nice and tight like this, the junctions together, so big pathogens can't seep through. But over time, it can become more and more permeable while things are allowed to seep through. In order to get them back kind of nice and tight, leaky gut revive and glutamate are great. Lastly on here is detoxification. In today's world, we are constantly exposed to environmental toxins through the air we breathe, the water we drink, our food, products, everything. Our body is constantly in overdrive to detoxify these out. So some major antioxidants that I like for general wellness for anybody: liposomal glutathione and N-acetylcysteine. These are antioxidants that help to detox through the liver. Binding agents are like little Pac-Men. They come in and help to gobble up all those toxins and excrete them out. I listed some here. And to excrete out toxins, we have to do that by pooping, peeing, or sweating. So to help your body sweat, yes, you can work out, but infrared sauna, getting in a sauna, Epsom salt baths are great. Start with the essentials, multivitamin, omega, probiotic. Everything else should be tailored to you. How is your stress? How is your mental clarity? Are you traveling? How is your workload? Adjust this protocol accordingly based on where you're at and stack your habits. Make it part of your morning routine, your nighttime routine. We will fly through the next two just very quickly. Next slide. All I want to say about self-care is that you do not need hours at the spa to rest and to reset your mind and body. Small intentional shifts can make massive impacts. Micro moments are the key here. Micro moments throughout your day to prevent burnout. Look at this list, choose a couple that you resonate with and implement them in your most stressful times, between client calls, before you get to work, after you leave work. For me, it's after I leave work, right before I get home to my 4 kids. Reset yourself, reground yourself, reconnect with yourself. You can do that legitimately in 30 to 60 second windows, 2 to 3 times per day. Really easy things, y'all, that you can implement, and they will make massive changes. So spend some time on that list and implement one. Last thing, very quickly, and you can go on to the next slide, is boundaries. This is something, one of the biggest mindset shifts that I had to make as an entrepreneur, a mom, and a medical professional, was realizing that saying no does not mean I'm letting people down. It means I'm preserving my ability to show up and be fully present where it matters. 4 key areas that we need to establish boundaries firmly and unapologetically: work and business, hard stop times, communicate your availability, create a no notification zone, technology and social media, screen-free mornings. Turn off any distractions, and please, for the love of all things holy, unfollow any accounts that drain your energy. You do not need that. Relationships and personal life, say no. It's a full sentence. Say no without guilt, and protect and support the positive connections. Lastly, emotional and well-being. Do not over-explain yourself. You do not need to explain yourself to anybody. Set realistic expectations and recognize that rest is productive. Last slide on there, and we'll wrap it up, is really the main take home. You guys, you do not have to choose between success and well-being. You can have both. You can be a great mom. You can be an entrepreneur. You can be a great spouse. You can be a great friend, a great husband, a great father, and an entrepreneur. You can do it, but you have got to take care of yourself. It's not an overhaul overnight. Choose one habit, one mindset shift, one boundary, one detox practice, whatever it is, and build from there. I'm done.
Awesome. So I think you were calling me out on a lot of things here. I gotta do better, especially in the morning. But I needed to hear this. So if I needed to hear it, I'm pretty sure there's a whole bunch of other people that needed to hear it too. So if you guys have a couple of quick questions, drop them, because we want to make sure that we stay on time and we get to the next speaker. But I do have one question myself. So I have a 14-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
He's my son, and I see a lot of vitamins, but I see a lot of vitamins for like teen girls. I never see anything for teen boys. Do you have any recommendations?
Yeah, it depends. Is he a chewable kid, a capsule kid, a liquid
kid? He's a gummy. It has to be a chewable gummy. He's not, okay. He does not like to swallow pills.
There is one gummy on this planet that I will endorse. One, because gummies, they're ridiculous. If you look at the ingredients, if you look at the sugar content, if you look at the dosages, most of them are a waste of money. So there's one gummy that I actually really like, and it's called Ultra Preventative Gummy by Douglas Labs. And it tastes good. At his age, he'll need 4 of them. So it sounds like a lot, but they give you a 1 month, supply. But that has awesome dosages. It has my kind of expectations as it comes to the methylated forms of the vitamins, and kind of all your micronutrients in it. So that's a good one.
Okay, awesome. And then we have one more question, and then we're going to, get our next speaker. What do you suggest if we're having a tough time falling asleep at night? Too many ideas.
Yes. So in that moment, you have to write them down. Keep a pad of paper by your bed, get your thoughts out. When we have those cycling thoughts, like as soon as we hit our head, it tends to be that we're go, go, go throughout our entire day. So by the time we lay our head down at night, that's when our creativity is jumping forward. You have got to get it out, or else your brain will hyperfixate it on it all night. Keep a journal by your bed, jot it all down, and then actually try to implement that before you wind down for your night. So before you take a nice calming bath, before you take a nice hot shower, diffuse some essential oils, take some magnesium L-threonate, and then by the time you get into bed, your mind should be cool, calm,
All
collected.
right. Awesome, awesome. So before we end things with you today, please let people know where can they find you and how can they work with you? What programs do you have going on?
Yeah, so my medical practice is Discovery Wellness Group. We are located in Cumming, Georgia. We take patients from all over. We have patients all over the world, all over the United States. So it does not matter if you are in our state or not. That's discoverywellnessgroup.com. We do functional medicine for the entire family, but we also specialize in holistic pediatric well and acute care. So we act as a normal pediatrician's office, but we ain't normal. I'll tell you that. And then functional medicine for adults and kids. On Instagram at the Discovery Doc. It's an online educational platform. We talk about all things holistic living, non-toxic living. I have a lot of free resources on there at thediscoverydoc.com, a lot of freebies, a lot of guides that you guys can check out. And there is a book in the works that hopefully will be out later this year. And we have a podcast, the Discovery Doc podcast, that has awesome guests on it every month.
All right, guys, you heard it. Awesome. Thank you so very much, Dr. Brooks. Enjoy the rest of your day and make sure you guys are sharing. So we're going to bring up the next speaker, but before I do that, really quickly, Mental Escapes, if you are watching, please make sure that you email your address and contact information over to support@vonza.com so you can get your book that you won yesterday on yesterday's session. So please make sure you do that. It's showing that you're watching from YouTube, so I hope that you see this. If not, then I'll have to just track you down and find you. Okay. So let's bring up our next speaker. I have had the pleasure of working with her over the past couple of weeks, so I know that she knows what she's talking about. She is on point. She is a branding specialist, and she is also a software systems engineer. So if you need your back office stuff together, she has you. Okay, and she's going to be teaching you today about how to build a profitable community online. So let's bring up Toila. Yay!
Hi, Miss Lalisha. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, I can hear you. You're awesome.
Okay, thank you so much. And you are doing such a fantastic job.
Oh, thank you.
I really thank you. I thank the organizers of this summit, Drs. Uyi and Dr. Faith. Thank you so much for having me. I am so excited to be here. And to all our audience who have joined in from where you have all joined from, you could have been elsewhere, but you decided to join this summit. I really, really thank and appreciate you all for listening to all the wonderful speakers who have spoken thus far. I mean, they have done wonderful, wonderful jobs. It's been wonderful. It's been great. I'm just going to share my screen real quickly. Yeah. Okay. So,
All right, there we go. I'm going to jump off and it is all you.
Okay, thank you so much. And I'm so excited to be here. Please, if you can hear me clearly, if you can see my screen, please put a one in the chat. And as time goes on, I believe I will see it. Once again, thank you all so very much. I am so excited to be here. And I'll be speaking on very briefly how to launch a profitable online community. This, I must tell you, is a very, very wide topic, and I'm going to try as much as possible to wrap it up under 25 minutes or 23 minutes, and we should be good. Then we'll take a couple of questions. So, how to launch a profitable online community? I am going to start. Okay. So once again, you are all welcome. You are all welcome. My name is Tola Shiwoku, and very quickly I will run through our agenda for the day. I mean, what is an online community? Why do we really need to build one? And I'm going to be taking you through the 6 actionable steps to building an online community. Then, of course, best practices which we can adopt in our communities. the platform to use for communities before we now talk about money making strategies, how to monetize our community. It's very essential that we go through these basics so that when we are talking about monetizing, we would have grasped some of the basic knowledge which we need to know about online community. All right. So, very quickly, for those that don't know me, my name is Tola Shiwoku, and I am a business branding specialist, a software implementation engineer. I help entrepreneurs and small businesses to have an authority producing web presence that introduces, engages, and converts clients faster. Because we all know that right now, at this time and age, we just have to be online. We need that online presence. And also, all things website designs, funnels, software training. I am your go to girl. So we are going to go very real quick because I've got a couple of slides. So if you are a coach, a digital creator, e-commerce store owner, or a small business owner, learning how to build an online community is very, very essential. Like I said earlier on, you are going to learn how to build a profitable online community in just 6 actionable steps. So, what's an online community? Of course, we all know what an online community is. It's just that digital space where people meet, people with shared interests, goals, or affiliation. You don't need to meet physically. That's just the difference. You don't meet physically, but you meet online, you meet virtually. And that is an online community. Online communities can serve various purposes, including sharing knowledge, providing support, building relationships, promoting collaboration, and fostering a sense of belonging. The kind of community you decide to build largely depends on your business goals. Whatever your goals are, online communities are a powerful way to facilitate connections between your followers because they allow your audience to discuss topics that interest them. They can engage with a brand or with leaders, instructors. They learn together, collaborate on personal projects or cross goals, and they share advice and related news. Very quickly, running through the types of online communities we have got interest groups or communities. I mean, these are groups of people where they share common interests. It could be fitness, it could be how a dancing club, or maybe how to sew or how to do something. They are just interested in a particular kind of thing they like doing, and they are a part of that group. We also have a community of practice. These are usually for professionals. A group of professionals, they come together to share professional development tips in the community. And we also have learning communities. I mean, people come together to learn and to share. We now have brand communities where this is just around a common mission or goal or a lifestyle championed by a business or a brand. Those are brand communities. And most of all, what we'll be talking about today will largely fall either under learning or brand, communities. So, why do we need to build an online community? Why is it so important? As a business owner, online communities bring your audience or students together in a single place, which is virtually. They can ask questions, observe their progress, and receive helpful feedback. Statistics has shown that 76% of internet users participate in one online community or the other. So you don't have to be worried that if you create an online community, are you going to get members? You will definitely get members. You will definitely get somebody to join your community, because from these statistics we're seeing, 76% and we know the number of people we have all over the internet that are active on the internet. So you will definitely get people to join your community. But the thing is just knowing the basics, knowing what to do, then moving on. Then from there, you can now scale and grow your community. So these are just a few benefits of online communities. It helps you to be seen as an authority. You're seen as a leader in your space. You know what you're talking about. People are vibing to your tribe because you're speaking something that resonates with them. You can also create brand ambassadors. It serves as a feedback from your audience. Having a regular dialogue with your community lets you improve your products and services and helps you serve them better. It also increases your revenue, definitely. A community will help foster more engaged followers and increase retention, which can ultimately increase your sales. Response to market shifts, and online communities are a natural fit for digital entrepreneurs. If you're an online business owner, if you're a digital person, a digital creator, online communities will definitely fit, will be a natural fit for you. So, very quickly, we'll dive into the 6 steps to building an online community. Please pardon me, I may be going a little fast. It's because of the very little time I have to deal with this topic. It's a very broad topic that takes quite a length of time, but I have decided to, um, mash it up into this 20 minutes. Okay, so number one, define your community purpose and goals. Before launching an online community, it's crucial to establish your clear purpose. Ask yourself, why should people join this community? I mean, if you can answer that question clearly and fluently, you are good to go. Because you should define, what are you really doing? What's your community about? Is it for is it like for example, is it an AI prompt society, or is it a digital products society? You want to teach people? You should ask yourself, first of all, why should people join this community? Your purpose, a well-defined purpose, ensures that your community remains focused and delivers consistent value to its members over time. The very next thing is identifying your target audience. I believe over the course of this summit, we have been hearing this: identify your audience, discover your niche, and things like that. You need to talk to somebody. You can't talk to everybody, just like Dr. Faith mentioned the other night. When you're talking to everybody, you are not talking to anybody. So you need to know who exactly are your target audience. Are you speaking to old people, young people? Are you speaking to men or women? Are you speaking to men in their 50s, or you're targeting ladies in their 40s? You need to really identify who it is you're talking to. And most of the times we hear all these things: identify your target audience, do this, do that, without any actual plan on how to go about it. So you can conduct a research to create detailed personas that represent your ideal members. Understanding your audience's behaviors and preferences allow for more effective engagement and content strategies. You can collect this information through customer surveys. These are ways you can get your information through market research and insights from brand websites and social channels. Make sure you define the key demographics, interests, and behaviors to shape your content strategy. Another thing, which is the third point, is setting specific goals and KPIs. Without well defined goals, it will be challenging to measure success and refine strategies. If you are just doing something and you are not measuring what you're doing, you are not monitoring, you can't analyze. And when you can't analyze, you don't know whether you're doing well, you need improvements, you don't know whether you need to change your strategies. So you need specific goals and KPIs. Of course, ensure your goals are SMART, which is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. And these goals should also tie back to your business objectives. Do not forget your business goals, your business objectives, and you monitor through relevant community key performance indicators. Some of these indicators which you need to be monitoring are on the next page. You need to monitor your active member rates. Active members, they participate in discussions, share content, they interact with other members. You need to monitor this because you need to know the percentage of the users who remain active in your community. You, New member acquisition. You need to monitor the addition of new members, whether you do this on a weekly basis or on a monthly basis, so that you can know what you're doing right, what you're doing well, what you should continue to do to get new members into your society. You also want to track your engagement. Engagement can be a powerful KPI to track because it measures the level of interaction and interest among community members. This can be in the form of likes, new discussion threads, comments, shares. These are things that we need to track. Also, total discussions, conversion rates, community impact. How are you really impacting your community? Once you can measure these KPIs, these indicators, it's really, really going to help you so that you will know what to do. Maybe things that needs improvement, you work on them. So these KPIs are very, very essential. Number four, choose the right hosting platform. When most people think of online communities, they think of social networks like Facebook or LinkedIn, which allows you to create groups and pages to engage following. The major disadvantage of using these free community platforms is that you don't actually have ownership. You don't have ownership over the platform. While branded community platforms are run by community owners from their own platform under their own URL. Examples of these platforms can be hosted on sites like Vonza, School, or Circle, just to mention a few. I'll be discussing more on this in part 5. Number 5, create community guidelines. This is very, very essential. You don't just want to create a community and allow people to just do whatever they like. Make sure your guidelines, they are clear, they are accessible, covering the vital aspects of community memberships like safety. You want to make sure that your members, they feel safe, that they will not be spammed, there is zero harassment. You make sure you list them out and they are bold, where everybody can see it, where they can have access to it, read and understand it. So you need to set your community guidelines. The last point is setting up your community. You should be able to have a platform where you can customize your community, customize your fonts, your colors, your images. Then your community description. The community description is like your elevator pitch. It should capture the essence of your community in one quick read. Your cover photo is the most visible thing when users first click. It should tell what the community is all about with the tagline. Then remember to set up welcome messages and onboarding content. Ask yourself the following questions. What is the first thing they see when they join the community? Do they know how to use the community? What should they post? Where should they post? A welcome message should be pinned at the top of your group because this will help to set your new community members up for success. Then you can now go ahead to link the courses or products you want your community members to have access to. So these are things that will help you to build a profitable online community. Another point which I didn't list there is definitely promoting your community. You have to promote it. You can't just sit back and not talk about your community. You have to talk about it everywhere you go. If you've got to run ads, run ads. If you've got to send people DMs or SMS, do it. You need to promote your community so that you can have members. Now, best practices for having a vibrant online community. What are the best practices? What are the things we can, incorporate? So these are some of the practices you can incorporate. Share details on how your course is helping people. If it's about your course, share stories, specific examples, create a very warm, welcoming atmosphere. Your members should feel comfortable and valuable when they join your community. Remember to set clear community guidelines, like I said earlier on. Then run regularly scheduled events. You want to do things that will not make, because I tell you, running a community is more or less like a full-time job. And we all have jobs and we all have things that we are doing. And at the same time, you don't want to make it, because once your members starts feeling that, when they start having that feeling like it's boring or it's dull, they won't just engage anymore. So you need to do, incorporate some of these practices. Is going to help a lot. Gather feedback regularly through polls and surveys. It can help you identify areas of improvements. Then, when you have gathered your feedback, review and act on the feedback. A feedback is useful if only you act on it. Review all feedback received. Review it. Create action plans on how to implement the realistic ones. Update your community on the achievements. Then I believe number 6 is so, so important. You need to delegate responsibilities. Once your community starts reaching, excuse me, hundreds or thousands of members, you will need some help. You need to hire a community manager to handle daily administration, to handle, daily posts and things like that. And also, the person can also be in charge of your webinars, because you will need somebody to moderate your chat, to let people into the meeting, to help with your audio and video. This, I believe, is very essential, because I know that we have joined some communities where, at some point it just went blank, and nobody is saying anything again, because probably the owner is overwhelmed. So many things to do here and there. Just hire somebody and delegate responsibilities. Just like we all know, there are so many platforms for communities where you can host your community on. And I will definitely I will recommend Vonza. I'm not just saying this because uh, it's Vonza that is hosting this. I have also tried other communities, and with Vonza, you not only have the community feature, you have so many other features where you can also, carry out so many other things in line with your online business. So let's just say communities is an added feature to whatever you have on Vonza. So I will be speaking, on Vonza. So create and build your community on Vonza. It is very, very easy to use. Very, very easy. And this is how your community would look like, to outsiders who wants to join. Make sure that your cover image is straight to the point. We have a brief description on the left side and the main description about that community on the right side. People that want to join, they should be able to read what your community is all about at a glance, and they should understand. They should understand it, and they should just something should spur them to just go click on the join community. Yes, so internally it looks like this. We have all of these wonderful tabs. And this particular one showing is the member rank. It shows how your members, they rank and all of those good stuff. So sign up at Vonza.com. Get 3 months at 50% off. Use this coupon code today, WIN24, and you'll be on your way. So, very quickly, in under 3 minutes, I believe I should be able to do this. How do you monetize your community? What are the things you need to do? Money making strategy one, of course, sell paid memberships. It creates a monthly or annual recurring revenue. Remember to create value. Now, people often ask, free versus paid memberships. How do I leverage free membership? Is it worth it? Free memberships will help you when you have little or no audience. This will help you to grow your audience, offer value, and remember to keep it engaging and vibrant. When your audience have the sense of belonging and they feel comfortable with the community, it will be very easy to sell them into your paid membership. Once you can cross this, it will be very easy for you to sell other products to your existing members, and you can now scale in your community. The other ways to monetize your communities are this. You can sell digital products, you can host live events. When you're hosting events, you sell it to your community members before even taking it public. You can give them good rates. You can we have one-on-one coaching or group coaching that you can also sell. Are you a subject matter expert? Are you very good in something that you a particular skill you're good at? You can provide personalized consulting services as well. So these are money making strategies that can help you make money in your online community. But remember, if your online community is not set up properly, if you do not imbibe some of these things I have highlighted, it may not be easy to monetize it this way, because you need to follow suit. Some people just set it up, put a price on it, and they see after some time that they are not just getting the results. So these basic things will definitely help you, if you need to set up a community properly, an online community that will be profitable. This is how you can find me. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and that is my website. I thank you all so much, and I think I am on the dot of 25 minutes. Thank you so much. It was a lot. I apologize, but I just had to do it. Thank you so much. So, questions.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, guys, drop your questions really quickly because there is a delay before I can see them. And I want to make sure I get them answered. And I hope that you got those steps. If you did not get those steps all down, then guess what? You better get that VIP status at vonzasummit.com so you can rewatch this later on, because she definitely dropped some really good gems in there. Especially if you are a coach, if you sell digital products or physical products, whatever. You want to build a following. And the best way to do that is by building a community, one that you own. So not like your Facebook group or anything like that. One that you own and you have control over. So Vonza is definitely, I use it. My community is on Vonza. It's the best platform out there right now for you to build your community. So make sure that you guys are doing that. And we do have a question here. So let's bring that up. What about doing paid community only? Does that work too instead of a free one?
Oh, yes. Paid community, definitely. If you've got your audience, if you've got your people, definitely you can go straight into paid community, and you price it the way you want, but just make sure that you're offering value. You're offering value. Paid community works as well.
Okay. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Any other questions before I bring up the next speaker? Make sure that you drop them, and make sure you guys are following. Make sure that you follow her and get all of this great information. And yeah, so we're going to keep things moving here. So thank you so very much for speaking,
Thank
giving us all
you.
this great knowledge, teaching us how to build a profitable community, guys. And one more time, if you have not upgraded to VIP status, make sure that you do that at vonzasummit.com. Okay, guys, and share this, tag wherever you're watching this from. Make sure that you are telling your BFFs to watch this, tune in. Okay, the best thing to do is make sure that they actually register, so that way they're getting all of the information, because we're going to be sending things out. And to register, you go to vonzasummit.com, okay, for the free as well as the VIP status. So we're going to bring our next guest up here. She is the other half of Vonza. So the queen of Vonza is in the house. So we're gonna bring her on. Hey, Dr. Faith.
The queen of Vonza. Hello.
Yes.
I love it. Hello, good morning or afternoon now. How are you?
Yeah. Awesome. And I'm super excited, guys. She is going to be talking to you about taking that shift in your mindset, because you need to start acting like you are a CEO and not just, a solopreneur, a business owner. You are a CEO. So it is time that you start acting like one. So yes. So Dr. Faith, I'm going to leave the virtual stage and it is all you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. I'm glad to be able to share with you on today. I'm just pulling some things up here. We've had some awesome speakers so far, and I just want to say, just from the speakers that we've had, I hope you guys are seeing the thought process. I hope you guys are seeing I hope you guys are seeing what it is that we're trying to encourage and do for you guys today, which is really get you on the path of not being the typical entrepreneur, not being the typical track of putting your business first and then having your health on the back burner, having your mind on the back burner, having your body on the back burner just to have financial success, then turn around and have to use that financial success to get your mind back, to get your body back, because a lot of entrepreneurs sacrifice a lot of things just so they can get to a point of what we call success. But that's not necessary. So we've brought up doctors, we brought up holistic coaches and teachers so that you can, and you realize hey, this is not something where I have to forsake the things that really matter and the things that are really important in my life. I can be well in my body, in my mind, and be well in my finances as well with the business, right? So that's part of us, part of what we're doing, part of what this is all about. So you can see all the different sides and you can be a success in every area that concerns you. So I'm going to, let me see here, pull up some slides. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch it up a little bit. I'm going to talk about your offer today. And then you need to make sure to join. Can y'all see my slides? Let me make sure y'all can see my slides. You need to make sure to join us on tomorrow so that we can really talk about shifting from being a solopreneur to be a CEO of your business, and how much of that mindset shift, yay, there it is, how much of that mindset shift will actually change the directory and the course of yourself and your business. Okay, so make sure you tune in tomorrow, because I'm going to break it down for you. I'm going to show you these little shifts that you can make in your mindset that will make a big difference in your business. Okay. But for those of you who don't know, I know y'all are saying Queen of Vonza, but I am Dr. Faith Abraham. I'm co-founder of Vonza. When we started Vonza, I actually was a coach and a counselor. So I was doing my business. I had just started to kind of tap into digital products and saw how awesome I could use digital products to support my clients and make things work. And I was literally on a ton of different platforms just to make my business work. And it just didn't make sense. So when what happened with my husband when he did his launch, and all that different apps weren't talking to each other, they weren't communicating with each other. I was like, let's solve the problem, because that's what entrepreneurs do, right? Come on, where the entrepreneurs at? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the comments. If you're an entrepreneur, you know that when you see a problem, the first thing you do is maybe you'll complain a little bit, but then you start looking for a solution. Come on, you are solution oriented. You are like, no, if I'm having this problem, somebody else is probably having this problem, and I'm going to fix it, right? And so we had that mindset, and we said, okay, this is what we're going to do. And after all those years, so I started out just earning $9.25 an hour, even though I had my degree, still wasn't making a lot of money. And I remember I got to the point where I was like sending out applications, getting, oh, you're overqualified. Oh, you're fine, but we're going to pay you this. And it just wasn't moving. And I remember I was just upset. I was complaining. I was crying. And my husband was like, babe, how about you stop waiting for somebody to open the door for you and you build the door and just go through it? And I was like, yeah, yes, 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 and yes. And that's how I had started my business, just with the sheer audacity of not waiting for anyone else to see my own potential, to see what was inside of me, to recognize what I had to offer to the world. And in my journey, in my years of doing counseling and coaching, it's like I'm about 20 years now, okay, of doing this. I figured out, and I found out even just through coaching and training and being with other great entrepreneurs, that your offer means everything. And I'm going to give you 5 solid points so that you can absolutely create an offer that is going to win. So whether you are doing, and I really, really hope, if you're brick and mortar, this is going to work for you. If you are digital, and I really hope, even if you're brick and mortar, you have a digital aspect of your business, this is going to work for you too. The key is making sure that the offer that you have speaks to your people and really helps them feel like, oh my gosh, this is the solution I've been looking for. This lady got it. This man has it. I'm going to buy it. Sign me up. Where's my credit card? I want it right now. I'm going to show you how to do that. And let's go ahead and get into the slides. And the slides are going to give us just that. Now, y'all let me know. Let's see. I want to make sure you guys can see everything and you're seeing the slide show. So we're on number 1. You're seeing it? If you're seeing 1, go ahead and put a 1 in the chat. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. 1 in the chat. Okay. Yes. Good. Okay, there is a slight delay. Gotcha. All right. So number 1 in creating this offer is having a deep understanding of your ideal client. Here is the deal. You have to know who your solution is for. If you don't know, they won't know either. The way that you create an offer that people cannot resist, that people are putting their coins together, honey, they are looking for opportunity to do business with you, is when you reveal to them that you understand them. At the time of even when Starbucks was still on the up and coming, one of the things that set Starbucks just above the rest was the fact that Starbucks had taken a culture around community, sitting with people, having people, your barista know your name. They ask you your name and they call you by your name. They write your name on the cup. So you feel like I'm you're in a place where everybody knows your name, right? From Cheers, like you feel like you're in a community, you feel like you're in this place, they know you, they get you, they understand you. Why do we love social media so much? And why do certain videos go viral? They go viral because they're relatable. They go viral because we're like, ooh, they're talking about me. She gets me. And you hit a like. If they really get you, you leave a comment. If they really get you, you send a share, right? So you take that same thought process when you're creating your offer and you identify the pain points of your customer, the desires of your customers, the fear of your customers. I like to say that part of the reason why Starbucks did so well, even though their price point was significantly higher than the other coffee shops, is they understood that not taking advantage of the fact that we are psychologically, we're community people, not taking advantage of that would be a waste. It would just, people are scared that they're going to be alone. They're scared that they're not going to have anyone to relate with or to talk to. That's why COVID was such a big deal, because people were missing that normal communication of seeing other people. So one of the ways that you want to do this, if it doesn't come to you naturally, let me tell you, do some market research. This is not on the slideshow, so you have to write this down. You can literally use YouTube. I know. You didn't think about it, but I'm telling you, go to YouTube, type in the search bar, right? Type in, let's say you are, a coffee shop in your local area, type in coffee shops or coffee drinks, right? And see what pops up in that search. It'll auto populate for you. So literally, YouTube is doing the work for you. Now, TikTok has literally turned into a search engine as well. You can use TikTok search bar. And that whatever drops down is literally it telling you and communicating to you, this is what people are looking for. This is what people are researching. This is what people want. Give the people what they want. Right? Are y'all following me on that? So, and you can do surveys, but if you don't have a big audience or you don't have a lot of people that respond to the surveys, you can use a website called I believe it's answerthepublic.com. And you can plug certain things in and it will give you like a little spin wheel chart of what people are looking for, what they're asking for, right? You should be able to even identify for your ideal client the type of social media they like the best. Like we know certain generations love TikTok, but other generations love Facebook and other generations prefer Instagram. Go where your people are, right? The better you understand your client, the stronger you can create your offer. And that leads me over to number 2. You have to be specific, okay? You are not Walmart. Don't try to have an iron, a furniture, groceries, clothes, shoes, electronics. When you're starting out, keep it simple, sweetie. Okay. Keep it simple, but be specific. So you want to speak to your audience and speak to them in a way that they feel like she's really here for me, or she really gets what I'm looking for, and she can give me the transformation I want. So you want to focus on one core transformation at a time. So from overworked to thriving, right? To overweight to, looking good in a bikini or looking good naked. That's a real thing. Like some people are like, yeah, I look cute in my clothes, but I want to look good naked. I want to be able to flash my husband. I want to be able to flash my wife. And they say, ooh, versus, that's a specific problem that you're solving. And one of the tricks of the trade when you're creating your offer is you want to use one of 2 of these methods. So you can use the so that method. You can use the without method. So let me give you an example. I help coaches build a 6-figure business so that they can have time freedom and financial security. Based on the example I just gave you, right? I can say, I help moms create a sexy body without having to forsake dessert or not eat ice cream or not have their glass of wine, right? But you're being very specific. You're talking to a specific person. And I know, I totally get it. In your mind, you're like, well, if I talk to that person, aren't all these other people just waiting and they don't have anybody? And I can also make money from them too. I know it's contrary to your thought process, right? But when you talk to too many people, you end up talking to nobody. But when you talk to specific people, you end up talking to somebody, and that somebody will now open up your funnel for you so the other bodies will come in. But you got to be clear. With my clients, I'm very, very strong in this because a lot of times it's not that your offer doesn't work. It's not that your business doesn't work. It's not that you don't have great transformation. You're not specific. So they really don't know that you can give them the transformation that they're looking for because you're not talking to them directly. You're talking to like all these other people, right? So I can give you another example, but I don't want to stay too long on this. But your offer should act as the bridge between where they are now and where they want to be. Okay. So think about it like you're the bridge. This is your client, where they are. This is you, and you're going to connect them to where they want to be. And so your offer, when you're creating that, you're thinking about it in a way that carries them right on over from where they are to the transformation. And that is what people want. Can you solve my problem? Can you give me what I'm looking for? Right? Number 3 is the packaging. Especially if you're doing coaching, you have to make sure that the type of packaging, I always say this to my clients, you want to make sure that the type of packaging that you're offering makes sense to your client and makes sense to you so that you will be free and fluid and do your thing, right? And you're having fun. And as you're having fun, that emotion is contagious and they feel you having fun. So now they're having fun. You guys are having fun. You're making things happen. Stuff is transforming. Money is coming in. Everybody is happy and everybody is having fun. Right? So when you're packaging your offer, you want to think to yourself, like, what's the best format for this? Tola in the last session just talked about community. Community is fantastic, and it works like it's fantastic. It's phenomenal because you can really get like-minded people all in one place, and now you created this big group think, and everyone is like shooting off ideas and, oh, I do this. Have you tried this? Have you did this? Oh, I made this doing this, and and it's just like mind blown. You're finally in a place with people who are just like you. And, you know, as the coach or as the entrepreneur, you cultivated that. But you have to identify which type is going to work. So is that going to, based on what the transformation you're offering, is that going to be a VIP day? Is that going to be a mastermind? Is it going to be through a course? Is it going to be a cohort where you have group coaching sessions and a course? So as they're going through the course, they're also getting coaching sessions and it's building them up and they're able to execute. One of the things that I realized for myself, I'll just be transparent. Let me know in the chat if this was anything like you. I could be a lone ranger. I don't know. But one of the things I was really, really, really good at is I could start something. I could start a book. I could start a program. I could start something. Now, the spirit of a finisher, that one was not my strong suit. So what did I have to do? I had to realize that I do better and I can finish when I have accountability, when I have a coach. And so the programs that I would purchase and I personally enrolled in that did wonders for me were group type style and course style and having that element of accountability. Because if I'm accountable to someone, I might slack on myself, but I won't slack on the people I'm accountable to, right? It's just like going to the gym. Oh, I don't feel like going to the gym, but you know, Kim is going to be there waiting for you. I'm going to the gym because I don't want to disappoint Kim, right? So when you're creating your offer, you think to yourself like, hey, what's been the best method for me? More than likely, the people who are going to be drawn to me and attracted to me, they're going to love that as well, right? So just know When you think like that, that's CEO type level thinking, right? That's CEO type stuff right there. You have to think in that way. And then you give them value, like include bonuses, and you can have templates and chat GPT prompts, because those things are awesome as well. And then when you're packaging your offer, make sure that you have a powerful name. Okay. You know, growth coaching, growth program. Okay, I got it. But 6-figure coach accelerator, 7-figure coach accelerator. Now it's like, okay, all right, sexy mom bod. Yes. Why? Because it's exciting. Remember the element of fun, fun. That anything that's exciting, anything that's fun. I remember when Coca-Cola did when you could go to the store and you can look for a Coke. And it was even in Nigeria. Like you could see Amanda, Stacy, Jack. Like you could see all these different names on a Coke. And it was so fun. Like, oh, I finally found my name. I finally found my name. Like my sister, she went to Nigeria. She got a amaka for her Coke. She was like, girl, I'm never drinking this. Something that has my name on it. Coke knew that people were going to buy their product, but they also knew the value of, same thing that Starbucks tapped into, somebody knowing your name. So it's the same good old Coke, but it just had a different packaging on it, your name, right? And that was a really big increase that they got from doing that marketing strategy. So you want to know that your packaging speaks to your audience and speaks to the people that you want to serve. So when they look at it, they're like, I like that. That's it. That's good stuff. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm looking for, right? All right, we're going through this thing pretty fast. Number 4. We're almost done. The price of transformation. I can never, ever say this enough, but let me be very clear on pricing your offer. Okay. Your price is contingent upon the level of transformation that you're creating. We don't work by the hour anymore. Come on, CEO. Come on, entrepreneur. We don't work by the hour anymore. That's what happens at a job. We price according to transformation. So if I, as a counselor, am helping a couple not have to spend the thousands, tens of thousands of dollars they're going to have to spend going through a divorce just by working with me, and now they're settled, they don't have to get attorneys, they don't have to pay renter's fee, they don't have to sell the house, explain to their family, explain to their children, have to go half on stuff, and all this, or the heartbreak, all the stuff that happens when it comes to divorce. They can work with me, we can get to the root issue, and we can transform their marriage. I'm going to price according to that transformation. How much does that type of transformation actually valued at, right? So let's look at the slides here. Use anchor pricing to show value versus cost. Like this would normally be, $10,000, but today it's $2,500, right? If I'm talking to my marriage clients, this work that we're doing together has a value of over $100,000. My program that I'm offering you is only $5,000 or $10,000, just depends on whatever package I'm showing them, right? But this is the value of it, right? And then if I'm working with business clients, this business is going to be able to generate you $100,000. My cost is only $10,000. You're going to make your money right back. It's as simple as that, right? So when you're pricing, you have to have confidence in your price and in your transformation so that it can reflect the value and commitment required for the transformation, okay? And last but not least, marketing and selling. It bumped me out of my slides, but let me just tell you what it was. And you'll get the slides if you are in VIP. If you're in VIP, you're going to get access to these slides and you'll be able to reference it and use those templates that was in there. Okay. But when it comes to marketing and selling, you want to tell a story. You want to paint a vivid picture of success, a vivid picture of where they're going versus where they are. So when we're planning a girls trip, yeah, we're planning a girls trip. We're thinking about the all-inclusive resort. We're thinking about the content we're going to create. We're thinking about the spa treatments and the relaxation. No one is considering how many flights we have to take to get halfway across the world, how much money it's going to cost to get halfway across the world. If do we have to get off the plane and get on a boat? Do we have to get a van? Do we have to do like we don't care about those little nuances, so don't focus on them. They're there, but don't focus on them. That's not the fun part. The fun part is our toes in the sand, the cute pictures that we're going to take on the beach, right? That's what you want to tell the story of. That's what you want to cast the vision towards. And when you have a strong call to action, and you're letting people know, hey, this is the transformation that you're going to get. This is the program I have for you. Let's make this thing happen. You're going to see people running over themselves to pay you. But never forget, human beings are not logical. We are not logical beings. We are emotional beings first. So when you sell, make sure that you have that soul stirring emotion that is stirred up and you're tapping into those elements of your offer that really speak to the heart of your clients. And that's how you're going to create an offer, a program, a product that really, really moves mountains. And when we say move mountains, we're saying moves people to purchase from you. So I made sure to get all of that out pretty quickly. But if you guys have any questions, please let me know. One of my favorite things about Vonza has literally been, because I use Vonza as well, has been my three favorite feature. I should do three favorite features on Vonza has been the forms, because with forms, I can customize it and create it just for certain clients. I love the email, being able to have and put people in different categories so that I can serve them specifically according to what they came to me for. Like, I love that. That's luxury, right? Where you don't feel like you're cattle, you're just hoarded in there with everybody. It's like, no, this is what you're here for. We're talking about this and only this. It's very customized. It's very posh, the email. And of course, I love the funnels, because it can really help you to take people from step 1 to step 2 to step 3. And I'm the kind of person, when I shop, if I find something, I love when they have a little feature that pops up and says, if you like this, then 1, 2, and 3, you'll probably like one of these things too. And I'm like, oh, I can make an outfit. Yes, yes, yes. And then I start adding stuff. So I know I'm that type of buyer. So I make sure to create that for my client as well, so that they can, because I'm probably going to attract that type of same person too, right? So I make sure to create things that way as well.
Absolutely. I love it. So guys, if you have any questions, definitely make sure that you get them in. There is a delay, so that way I can make sure that we get them answered live. And I'm pretty sure you answered my question in the last part of your presentation, because I know a lot of times people don't realize they actually need transformation. They just see the end result and they're like, okay, I want this. And I'm like, but you need all of this stuff first.
Yeah, I know. I think that's like the hardest part, because it's like, you would get there if you just focus on this, and people's mind is not like, I don't care. Just get me over here. So you kind of got to make sure to bring them in with what they're focused on and what they feel is the most important thing. And then gently slide in. If you're going to get there, you have this piece and this piece and this piece. Oh, okay.
Yes.
It's like
Yeah, it's
feeding a
all
kid
about the
vegetables when they're little. You got to blend
messaging.
them up and put it in the spaghetti so they can't taste it, but it's there.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, guys. So one more time, Dr. Faith, she mentioned all the her top 3 favorite things about Vonza. But there is currently a promotion going on right now that will remain for the summit. That if you sign up for Vonza, you get 3 months at 50% off. So now is your time to, get it implemented, start working on it. And
Yeah.
you use that coupon code, is right there on your screen, WIN24, to get that offer. It is only for a limited time. So make sure that you grab it ASAP and go to Vonza.com. And of course, make sure, like she mentioned, if you are not at VIP status, you want to upgrade to VIP status so you can get access to the slides from all of our guest speakers. And you don't miss anything. Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you, Dr. Faith. And we are going to keep things moving right along. We have our next speaker who is ready to go. I see him backstage. So we're going to bring him up. I've had the pleasure of actually working with him. His name is Dion, and he's going to get you right when it comes down to your time management. And he is a stickler. So he will get you right, because I know we are, always trying to do a whole bunch of things, and we tend to not get as much stuff done as we possibly could if we would just focus. So he's going to teach you how to actually do that. So let's bring him up here really quickly. Hello, hello.
Hey, Lanisha.
Welcome to
Thank
the
you.
Make Money Online Summit. And I know that you have a presentation for us as well. So you're going to share your screen?
Yep, I'll pull that up.
All right. So while he is getting that together, guys, make sure that you are sharing this. Share it on wherever you're watching from. Make sure you guys share it. Tag, all of your BFFs. And make sure sharing is caring. So don't keep all this knowledge to yourself. You got to share it with your people, right? So I'm going to leave the virtual stage and give Dion the stage to himself. And let me make sure that I bring. Yeah, there we go. Bye, guys.
Perfect. All right, can you all hear me? Just want to make sure that I'm connected in here. All right, I got the screen over here, just in case you guys see me looking back and forth, because I can only see my slides. So, again, thank you guys for having me. And today we're going to talk about time management and making sure, as an online business owner, that we're able to master our schedule, boost our productivity, and build lasting habits. And that all starts with, of course, our time. So I'm going to take you from the top and, share a little of the journey that I went through to kind of get here. So it started with, I did everything right. I went to a great school. I got a top consulting job before I even graduated. By every measure, I had won, or at least that's what I thought. I graduated from Virginia Tech with over 3.0 GPA. I locked in a position at one of the top 5 IT consulting firms before my senior spring semester even began. And by all traditional standards, I was set, right? But by January of that year, my first business, again, I'm fresh out of college, my dream at that time had already failed. And 8 months of grinding, pushing, and sacrificing, and it didn't work. I was mentally drained at that time. I was exhausted. I thought that I had done a lot, and I was just finished with that. So from January until August, I did absolutely nothing but focus on school, hang out, and enjoy life. There was no stress, no hustle, just pure relaxation. And after what I had just been through, I appreciate the simplicity of it. So I had a job lined up. I was making $55,000 a year, or going to make it. And after the chaos of building a business, this structured, predictable life, it felt easy. Show up, do my work, go home, collect my paycheck. It was simple. or, so I thought. If you fast forward to August, it's my first full week on the job in Reston, Virginia, and 6:15 a.m. wake ups to make it to work by 8 a.m. A full day in the office, and hour plus commute home just in time to eat, wind down, and do it all over again. And by the end of that first week, reality, it hit me hard. And I remember sitting with my mother, and I turned to her and I was just like, "You've been doing the same routine for 20 plus years?" And I just couldn't believe it, right? Every single week, this is what she's been doing all that time. And I was already burned out after 4 days. And there was no way that I could live the rest of my life like this. So after that, it got worse because I would be in the workplace and I'm looking around and there's no one. I mean, no one. Not a single person that I aspired to be like. No one had the freedom and flexibility I wanted. Everybody had 2 cell phones. Everybody came in early, left late. Everybody was trading time for money in the most epic way possible. And I realized that the company was the real winner, right? They had built this system to keep people on this treadmill checking in and checking out every single day. And it hit me that, this is really, I wanted to ask myself, is this really what success looked like? Is this all there is? And at that moment, I knew that if I didn't do something different, this cycle would be my life. And I remember, watching Groundhog Day. It's an old movie with Bill Murray. I was watching with my mom, and as a kid, and it was funny then, right? But when I realized that my life was turning into that same endless loop, it wasn't funny anymore. And so I was waking up, commuting, working, sitting in traffic, going home, and repeating this all over again. The days, they just blended together. And it wasn't just my job, it was the feeling that nothing was changing. And at first I told myself this was normal, right? Everyone works, everyone has a routine, but here's the problem with that is that this situation wasn't going to change itself. It really made it worse. Or I would say what made this worse is that the company that I worked for, they had the blueprint for me before I even stepped in the door. I wasn't even there yet, and they had this system already set. They knew exactly how to maximize my time. They structured my schedule to extract the most value out of me, and they really built the system that used me efficiently for their success. Meanwhile, I had nothing, right? No clear goals for myself, no structured plan for my growth, no clue where my time was actually going. I wasn't building my life. I was just a piece in someone else's system. And that's when I realized why I felt overwhelmed, stuck, and frustrated at that time. Because I was constantly reacting instead of taking control. I had no strategy for how to use my time effectively. And I was spending hours on things that didn't move me closer to where I wanted to be. So I had these huge goals: financial independence, launching a business, personal growth. But, my biggest excuse is I don't have time. I had ideas for a new business, but I'm too busy. I want to get in better shape, but my schedule is too packed. I can't even get to the gym. I'll figure it out when things slow down, but things never slow down. And that's the trap. So if we don't take control of our time, we'll always feel like we don't have enough of it. And the really scary part is that when we don't manage our time, life finds a way to manage it for us. And so I looked around again at my coworkers, and some had been there for 7 years, 10 years, 15 plus years. And at one point, they were just like me, young, ambitious, and full of ideas, but life got in the way. They got comfortable and in the routine. They convinced themselves that they chased their real dreams on someday. But let me ask you guys something. We have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I've never seen someday on the calendar, and yet that's the day that most people are waiting for. And how long have you been waiting for someday to take control of your time? Because, I'll be honest, someday never comes, right? The job became their life. And that's when I knew that if I didn't change as well, right, that was going to be me. And I wasn't going to let that happen. So we hear it all the time, right? Time is our most limited resource. Time is more valuable than money. But let's be honest, right? We don't act like it. And the hard truth is that time is either an asset or a liability. And at some point, I had to face reality that time was going to work for me or it was going to work against me. And I wanted to use my time to build something. Or, if I wasn't using my time to build something, then I was losing time that I'd never get back. And that really forced me to make a major shift. How can I get more done, no matter my circumstances? And what's the best use of my time to reach my goals? And that's when I realized that, the 9 to 5 wasn't the answer. And I had to get back to my entrepreneurial grind. So again, I started a vending machine business. After that, a media content and blogging business, investing in real estate, life insurance brokerage. My focus shifted and I stopped thinking about every little thing and I started taking action. So what changed was I cut out the distractions. I stopped making excuses and I focused on what I could control. Work was no longer my identity. It was really a tool to fund my real goals. And one of the biggest mistakes of in route to this was trying to be perfect, right? I was planning instead of taking action. I thought I needed to be perfect before starting. I second guessed myself and delayed execution. And then I realized that no one is ever ready, right? The only way to learn is by doing. And the only way to succeed is by failing first. So I stopped waiting for the right time and I started moving. I built these habits, right? I set priorities and I took action. So not all my businesses succeeded, right? Based on my expectations, right? They failed hard. But we know what big losses lead to. They lead to big wins. So if you think about some of the greatest NBA players, Kobe Bryant, he had 42 missed game winning shots. Michael Jordan played for, shorter time. He had 27 missed clutch shots. And LeBron James, who's playing longer than everybody ever in the history of basketball, he has 30 and counting missed buzzer beaters. But all of them are still considered one of the best because they kept shooting. And I take that same approach. I fail forward, I take shots, and I want to use my time to try, learn, and adjust. So let's fast forward to present day. Push Lines was created, right? It's a 6-figure business, hundreds of thousands of dollars generated for others, and it all came from leveraging my time, executing consistently, and failing forward. The only difference between success and failure is how we use that time. So winners make time work for them and losers let time pass them by. So the question is, are we going to win or lose because time isn't waiting for you? So here's the big question. What did you do, Dion? How did you make that adjustment? And I'm fully aware of the importance of time now. I couldn't just hope for better time management. I had to build a system that worked for me. And so my life is even busier now. I have a family, wife and kids. I run and manage my health and fitness with the business. I balance everything. Life throws at me, just like many of you. I wear multiple hats and my time is stretched super thin. But instead of feeling overwhelmed, I'm in control now. And I've spent years testing different strategies, systems, and habits, learning what actually works and what doesn't. And today I want to share the exact framework I've used, the same one that I've also helped others develop and build behind to regain control of their time within the push program. So let's get to it. We'll start from the top. And this really starts with we have less time than we think we do. Life is a constant. It's really unpredictable. And between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m., for most people, especially those with families, if you have kids, that block of time is full of responsibilities. We have school drop-offs, you have work, you have errands, you have extracurriculars. And if you don't have kids, you have more flexibility, but are you actually using it to your advantage? And so for most people, right, that day is chaotic. And I call this the reaction zone because you're constantly responding to demands, requests, and responsibilities. And it's hard to build these habits, create consistency, or focus on personal growth when life is always in the way. So when there is, I guess, it's more of a question, it's tough for me to see the audience here, but when is there time for you to grow? Right. And that's the big problem that a lot of people have, that I work with. And so the truth is you need that time that is protected, uninterrupted, and it's yours. And that time is not 5 p.m. when you're already drained, right? But what I have found is that, especially for those with kids, there isn't much going on at 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. in the morning. And I know what some of you are thinking, right? That's crazy. That's too early. I can't do that. But let me ask you this. Can we keep doing what we've been doing and expecting a different result? And obviously the answer is no. So most people say, I'm a night person. I can't function in the morning. And I push back on that because the truth is we have to be the type of person our goals require us to be. If late nights were actually working for us, right, we wouldn't be having this conversation. And they work for plenty of people, right? And those that do well with that. But the problem with the evenings for most people, is by the end of the day, they're mentally fried and just physically exhausted. So if you wait until the end of the day to work on you, then you give yourself the leftovers from what everything else that went into you for the day. So the morning allows you to put you first. So you get your best energy, you get zero distractions, and you take care of yourself and then give everyone else. You give the world what's left of you. And the real question isn't, can I get up early? It's, am I willing to change my habits to create the life I want? All right, so let me show you exactly how I structure my time to balance business growth, family responsibilities, personal health, and development. So my schedule. So again, this is me, and this is increased since I've seen success from that. So I have a 3:30 a.m. wake up. So from 3:45 to 7 a.m. it's uninterrupted. It's lights out. When I say lights out, that's mean it's complete focus on business growth and deep work. Unless I'm in the gym, and that's a couple of days a week at 5 a.m. Then from 7 to 8, essentially, is kids prep, getting them out the door. And then I also eat breakfast and recharge during that time. From 8 to 12, I'm back at it. So I'm doing work, client fulfillment, and admin items. 12 to about 1:30 is content development and planning. And then from 1:30 to 2:30, there's some personal time to keep things together for myself, and then intentional planning for my kids. So when they get out of school, I'm usually doing pickup for them. And, whether we're going to the library, this is great quality time, and time is time. So the way I see this is that if I'm spending intentional time with my kids, it's still valuable. I'm being present in that moment. I'm also helping them with their education, and they also play tennis. So, I coach them in tennis and some of the things they like to do. So this is great quality time that I spend with them, especially in their younger years. And then from 5:30, 7:30, sales calls, next day prep, dinner, right, evening wind down, etc. And there's some fluctuation in there. But by the time 7:30, 8 o'clock come around, it's time for me to get down so I can wake up and have those, 4 quality hours in the morning. All right, so a big part of this with this AM is that this routine, it allows me to have, again, that focus work before the world wakes up. There's intentional family engagement throughout every single day, where my kids aren't like an afterthought, they're the pre-thought. and then my physical and well-being as well. All right, so now let's break down the exact system behind this schedule so you guys can apply it to your own life. And this first step is to define your roles and goals. Okay, so who are you? You're not just a business owner, right? You're also a parent potentially. You're also a fitness enthusiast, right? Caretaker, on and on and on. And so what we want to do is we want to define these roles, because if we just look at one role, then we're neglecting a bunch of other things and being unrealistic about the time we have to ultimately do what we're all here to do, right? Which is grow our business. So we want to identify our priorities and what truly moves the needle forward. And we want to base this off the 80-20 rule, which I'm sure many of you guys have heard. And we keep it simple, right? 20% of the tasks that we do drive 80% of the results. So what are the most important things for you? Off the top of my head, I can tell you, right, business is really important to me. Being a present and engaged father is super important. Obviously a husband, and my health and fitness, because without that, everything else doesn't really mean much. And the type of goals we want to utilize here is fast goals, right? So I know a lot of you guys have probably heard of SMART goals: specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. Well, fast allows us to focus on the process and not just the result, right? SMART goals are more result-based, while fast goals are more based on the process. And I believe if we work on the process, we can eventually get to the end result. So fast stands for frequently discussed and needs to constantly be on your brain, thought about, being worked on. They're ambitious, they're specific, and they're transparent. All right. And then we need to identify urgent versus important. We need to learn to say no to low priority distractions and really focus on the things that move the needle. Everything else is out the window because we don't have the time for it. So we want to write down the 3 most important things you need to do to accomplish this month. All right. And so step two is going to be to audit your time. All right. Most people don't have a time problem. They have a time wasting problem. And you think that you're too busy, but if you track your time, you'll find hours lost on distractions. So the non-negotiable here, the non-negotiable method is really for you to block out your most important work first. And that's why those first 3.5, 4 hours in the morning for me are critical. Because if everything else fails during the day, I know that those 4 hours spent on me, right, growing the business, pushing my agenda forward as it relates to that, it lightens my load. I'm not rushed with the kids, right? The work fulfillment or client fulfillment I have to do is no problem because I've worked on the growth items and the best part of me at that point in time. So you have to have your you want to utilize non-negotiable method there and block out the most important work first. And then we want to make sure that we eliminate any waste. And so the action for this would be for 1 week, right? Track every hour of your day and then eliminate what isn't serving you. So there's different tools that we utilize within Push that allows people to be able to track this. And again, people don't like to track things. People don't like to document things. We like to float. But if we can't measure it, it isn't real. And we need to be able to identify that. So next is going to be execution and accountability. And this is really a part of the overall Push formula. Because a plan without execution is just a wish. So there's weekly planning, you have daily execution, and then there's reflection and adjustments before we head into the next week. So we want to set deadlines to track progress so we can hold ourselves accountable. And with this, you want to be able to schedule a weekly review. And that's the action step with this one, is to schedule a weekly review where you adjust and optimize your time blocks. Step 4, the habits, stacking, and routine. So we want to build systems and not just to-do lists. So we want to use the habit stacking method. So I'm sure many of you might have heard about this before, but it's where we stack something that we do with something that we don't do. So let's use coffee as an example. After, I make coffee, I'll create content for 30 minutes, right? So every time there's coffee involved, you'll go to create content. And these mornings, the morning and evening routine is also an anchor in this. So we want to be able to start on a non-negotiable task, as we talked about, and we want to end your day strong. So one thing I like to do is pre-plan for the next day. So when I wake up in the morning, I know exactly what I'm attacking. And so that will be the action step for you. So pick a habit that you want to add and stack it onto something you already do, and think about any evening routines that you want to stack onto that. All right, next is eliminating time wasters. The power of saying no. And so every yes that everything we say yes to, right, is a no to. Everything we say yes to that's not in alignment with what we want to do is a no to our goals, right? And it's not about what we say, it's about the actions. So you're voting for it by what you do. And so we need to set boundaries around email, text message, social media, and other low value work. We want to outsource and delegate whenever possible because we can't do it all. So one of the big things here as it relates to an action step is to identify 3 things that you'll stop doing right this week and cut them out completely. So I used to be really big on, like keeping the house together and, wanting to cut my grass and all that, outsource, right? Food, trying to go to Costco's, get all the food together. Right now, get somebody to make my meals, because one of the things that I can't create more of is time. So things that are possible for me to delegate, that's exactly what I do. And it's a game changer. All right. I think overall with these steps here, for the do it, yourself approach, is that the biggest secret to time management isn't about finding more time. It's about deciding what sacrifices you're willing to make. Because if you don't make sacrifices for what you want, then what you want becomes a sacrifice. And so this is the push system, and this is how high performers take control of their time. And we want to make sure that we're identifying the things that align with who we are and make sure the approaches that we take on a daily basis stack up. I see you pop back in, Lanisha.
Oh, yes. I figure you were wrapping up, and we'll make sure that we, get the questions answered. Yeah.
Okay. I can't see anything. I've been looking at myself.
Oh, no, you're good. I didn't want to cut you off. Were you all done?
Oh, I'm just about done. Maybe
Go ahead.
4 or 5 more minutes. So
Go ahead. Go.
Okay. All right, cool. All right, next up, we have the commitment and locking this in. And so what we want to make sure we do at this point is that I've shown you why time management is number one bottleneck to progress. We've shifted our mindset to see time as an asset and been provided with a blueprint to execute. But here's the problem with this, is that most of us fail at execution. We get motivated, take action for a few days, and then fall off. And we don't want that. So our job here is to lock in commitment to time management, utilize accountability strategies to keep us on track, and sustain these actions for the long term. So first step is we want to make it non-negotiable, right? The truth is, if something is optional, it will eventually be skipped. The solution to this is that we have time management must become a non-negotiable system in your life. And so you think about, you don't find time to brush your teeth, you just do it. You don't find time to go to work, you just show up because it's required. And you don't find time to eat, you just make sure it happens. All right, so we want to make sure we set and lock in time to block your most important work. All right, step 2 is the 30-day commitment rule, right? Most people quit before the habits are formed. So what you want to do is you want to commit to 30 days of structured time management, no excuses. And people ask me why 30 days, because it's long enough to rewire your brain, but short enough to not feel overwhelmed. So that's what you want to do. You want to take those 30 days and develop and create a habit that's strong enough to you can continue on autopilot. Whether it's waking up earlier, cutting out some distractions, right? Do it for 30 days straight and track it daily. No breaks, no excuses in that. 3 is track progress and make the adjustments on a weekly basis. So if you don't measure progress, as I mentioned, you won't improve. We want to set weekly checkpoints to adjust and optimize our time. And the action step here is to set up a weekly 15-minute time audit session, Sunday night or Monday night. And again, these are the things that we do within the program that's already done for you, so you don't have to think about it. It's on autopilot. Step 4 is to get the accountability, right? People fail alone, but succeed with support. And so we need to have external accountability to stay on track. External accountability is what creates internal habits. And so we need one to do the other a lot of times. When you were young, you didn't want to brush your teeth. Your mom would tell you go brush your teeth anyway. She kept telling you that. Now no one has to tell you it. That external accountability has created internal habit. So we want to be able to be in a space with other people to push ourselves. So if you don't have anybody in that space, you want to find a space for you to be able to have that structured accountability system, weekly check-ins, or you want to publicly commit to something. The last one is to keep the big picture in mind. So some days will be hard. You will feel tired, unmotivated, and want to quit. And always reconnect with your why you started the business, why you started trying to work on your time management. What is this going to allow you? And think about what happens if you don't take control of your time. What will life look like 5 years from now? Who are you letting down if you don't show up? And so you want to write your why down somewhere where it's visible for you. Skipping forward here. And so these are the 5 steps I just talked to you about, and I'll wrap it up there.
All right. Awesome. So that we can make sure that we are, of course, staying on time. How can everyone connect with you and sign up for what you have going on to help them with their time management?
You can go to pushalliance.com and you can schedule a growth call. I can speak with you personally. So it's pushalliance.com, or you can also send me an email at dion.dalton@pushalliance.com, and we can go from there.
All right. Awesome. And guys, one of the tips that I learned from him that I still use is, when I'm having a hard time focusing, do time blocking in 25-minute increments and then take a little 5-minute break. I still do that.
Awesome.
Yes. So thank you so very much, guys. Make sure you're following him on social media. Get on his email list, all of that stuff, because, we want to stop wasting time. We all have the same 24 hours. You got the same 24 hours that Beyonce has. So if she can do it, you can do it too. So
right.
No more wasting time. Thank you very much. We're going to get our next speaker up because she is, backstage. And we're going to keep this thing rolling. And I'm super excited because she is a ball of just, energy, and I absolutely love her for it. She's a visibility coach. If you have already seen her, if you're not, but she has been on BT, she's been on Fox, she's been on CBS, she's been on ABC, just to name a few. And she is going to teach you today how to bring out that it factor so you can turn those clicks into cash. So let's bring our next speaker up, Dr. Stevie.
Hey. How you doing, Lanisha? How's everybody doing?
Yay, guys. Make sure you drop some comments to make sure that you can hear us well. Yeah. And Dr. Stevie, I know that you have some slides that you want to show us. Are you able to share your screen, or do you need me to bring them up?
Let's see, honey. Look, I've never used this platform before, so I think I got it. Look at me learning. It's
awesome. Yes, you do. Okay. So, guys, I'm going to let her go because I don't want to take up all of her time, her speaking time here. So I'm going to leave the virtual stage and let Dr. Stevie, tell us how to get that it factor income.
Awesome. I am going to set my clock. I'm going to do my best to donate some time because I know we're starting a little bit behind time, but it's okay because the last speaker was so amazing, so wonderful. And so I want to just talk to y'all today. I am Dr. Stevie Aisha-Mills. I'm so grateful to be here. Thank you so much to Vonza and also my great sister friend, Lanisha. I'm super excited. This is such a professionally run thing. So, who is Dr. Stevie? Well, I am a 30-time author. I have a BA in public relations. I have an MS in human resources, both from the same university, North Carolina A&T State University, where Aggie pride reigns. I love my school. Matter of fact, I not only look 21, y'all, but this is my 25th year coming up. This May, I will be celebrating 25 years of being a graduate for my undergrad degree. I have an honorary doctorate in leadership, over a decade of being an entrepreneur, podcaster on Pandora, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and more, and founder of Click the Cash Crew, which is a Facebook community that now has over 2,500 people in it. So, before I was all that, I was Dr. Stevie. Right before I was Dr. Stevie, I was just Stevie. Y'all see me? Listen, I'm just up there cheesing, probably looking older than I do now. And I'm sorry I can't see y'all's comments because the screen, but definitely please keep commenting to me. I love interaction. And so you see that those people, those nice young ladies, my coworkers, they're working. The gentleman in the back in the office, that's my manager, he working. And I'm like, I don't want to be here. This was my first foray into corporate America. I did not want to be there, guys, and I did not know how much it was not going to be in my benefits to be there. So this was me at the age 30. I am now 46 years old. Y'all see the difference. I'm living the life I love now. But back then, I was someone who just graduated from grad school. The next logical thing was to get a job, or so I thought. And so that's what I did. I actually ended up very ill. I had to have 3 colonoscopies within 30 days, 2 within 24 hours. I had shingles, and I went from a size 14 to a size 0, all because of stress. That literally started me on the journey of honoring me. You sound looking cute. Oh, okay, girl. Instead of continuing to do what I thought I should do that was not working for me, I did what I was custom design assigned to do. It helped me to learn how to create it factor income, and I'm super excited to share this with y'all today. What is it factor income? It is the money that is made when you understand how to tap into the gifts that God has cultivated inside of you. It allows you to work with who you want, when you want, and how you want. It allows you to remove perfection and add fun into your life. So, since I became a doctor, y'all, Dr. Stevie suggests, remember that this is your business, run it like it is, right? We might see this person, that person, all the people doing all the things, but at the end of the day, you have to build a business that's congruent with who you are. You cannot just live on what everybody else is doing. It's your business. Act like it is. Also, never get caught up in the monetary goals that other people have. You can't pay your bills on that. I know I'm in a room full of big thinkers, big planners, big dreamers, all the things. But Stevie cannot pay not one bill, whether it be the electric, whether it be the cable, whether it be the car note, on any of that. So Stevie has to do her work for her plan and figure that out. Now, understand that all you can do is all you can do, and all you can do is enough. Y'all, one thing I know for sure, and I will say y'all because I am from North Carolina, okay? So we say y'all, we say all the things. Understand that all you can do is all you can do, and all you can do is enough. Listen, that means that you don't have to do everything. Yes, we have social media birthing and building and blooming all over. This app, that app, what app should I be on? Find your space and run there. Don't worry about being all the things. Now, I do, as a visibility coach, have to tell you, I think it's a great idea to secure your real estate, your e-real estate, by getting handles on all of these platforms. But you and your primary self do not have to be on all of them. Be willing to pivot to what God's current plan is for your life. Now, I bolded and I put in capital letters, current. Current plan is for your life. That means right now, that means on 3/20, yes, the first day of spring, on 1:08 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, this is the plan. Now, 10 minutes later, he might tell you something different. And when I say God, listen, I'm a Jesus girl, but guess what? That could be any higher power that any of y'all celebrate. So, God-given it factor. This is where it all started, y'all. Cultivating Your It Factor. I have 30 books, as I told you, but this one is where it started. Y'all see me branded with my book? Okay, listen. This was in Barnes & Noble when I had my speaking engagement there for my book launch. And guess what? This is the first book. And I love it. I still love Cultivating Your It Factor. I cannot tell you how to make money online without you understanding your it factor and what that is. So this was a book that we had 14 amazing authors. This started the journey of me being an author. I never wanted to be an author, but there were other plans for my life. So that's where we started. Fun fact about this book is that when Lala Anthony was #1 back in the day, we wrote this book, I think in 2015. When that happened, we swiftly moved her to #2 on the Amazon chart. So yes, y'all can do amazing things. So let's get to the business, okay? So what is differentiation strategy? It's an approach that business takes to develop a unique product or service that customers will find better than, or in another way distinctive from, products or services offered by competitors. Differentiation strategy is a way for a business to distinguish itself from the competition. If successful, it allows the business the opportunity to charge a premium for the good or service. Simply put, y'all, look, that's a lot of words, I know, but that's what it means. But simply put, for you and I today, what it means is that you already have the sauce. You already have the it factor. I always tell people, I didn't invent the word it factor. I just rock mine harder. So you have those gifts, skills, talents, and abilities that were already created in you that you just need to market. Because guess what? You cannot be someone who does not market what it is different from you, because all of the other people do what you do. There are authors, speakers, coaches. We've heard from many of them, even in this time we've been together on the summit. But there's nobody like Stevie Aisha Mills, and there's nobody like you. In order to truly discover, define, and refine your signature brand, you must holistically get to the bottom of who you are. Who you are. Shouts out to my clients. These are my clients featured in the next slide. So you are who God called you to be. You are who you call yourself to be, and you are what you're called to do. Okay? Remember, even if you're in an industry full of people who do the same thing as you, you are still custom designed. Okay, now let's show in this, because this is Dr. T. She is an eye doctor. And one thing I know for sure is nobody is an eye doctor like Dr. T. She makes house calls. She was doing all the things, y'all. And there are people, even she's gone to the prisons to help them with their eye care, all the things. Most people aren't doing that. So even in the world of Pearl Vision and all the other places, Walmart Vision and all the places we get our glasses, there's not a Dr. T. And even in the industry that you're in, there are competitors, some bigger, some smaller than you. But guess what? You are you, and that's all that matters. So for my people who want to take a screenshot, here are 2 scriptures. I'm not going to read it all, but I want y'all to stand on that for those people who need that, okay? So, and take a screenshot of this too, because I need y'all to put this on your refrigerator. I need y'all to put it on your desk, because I need y'all to remember, do you know how important you are? That's a question. Now, I don't have time to stop. We got to keep moving, but that's something y'all reflect on later on in your private time. So people who are assigned to you are people who cannot fulfill their purpose unless you fulfill yours. Now, okay, y'all, put on your seatbelts, please. Put on your seatbelts, go on and nestle yourselves in, because this next slide, it might be a little bit harsh, but it's going to wake you up, okay? Facts. So your tribe has been set apart for you. If you do not do what God has called you to do, then your tribe will not move. No matter how big or small this group of people is, they are assigned to you. I will tell you right now that if you do not do what you're purposed to do, you are being selfish. And we don't want to be selfish, okay? So that's the facts. I hope everybody is still breathing. Y'all still with me. We still friends. But I had to come up on here today to tell y'all the truth. We're not playing around, okay? Because this is 2025. We have moves to make and people to impact, okay? So when you know who God has called you to be and you see yourself as how he sees you, then you're able to successfully tap into what God has called you to do. This is your hashtag GGIF, which my chapter of this book is called Your God-Given It Factor. Okay, so this is my chapter. This is the divine blend that will change your life. Ask me how I know. Because I used to not want to be a girl named Stevie. Stevie was a hard name. I was born in 78. There was not a lot of little girls with these unisex names like it is now. So I was going through all the things. I didn't want to be who I was, all the things, until I embraced everything about me. So now I'm able to make more money. And we're about to get to the money part. I'm laying foundation, because without this foundation, the money part, listen, it won't be able to be made as quickly. So, told you we're about to get there. This is where Click the Cash comes in. My last book that I really have written. And for those of y'all who want to check, make sure the girl is real, here's my trademark. The United States trademark, Click the Cash, is real, okay? So, I like to play with big numbers, you guys. So, $10,000. Some people want to play millions. Y'all play at that point. Some people may not have the belief to even get to 10,000. So I wanted to do a nice round number where we all can agree on, and y'all can interchange your numbers. So 10,000 is easy to create once you have the right invitation and place it in front of the right people. The goal is 10,000. Frequency depends on you. The same energy is used to create $10,000 in a day, week, or a month. One person investing 10,000 is still 10,000. 2 people invest in 5,000. Guess what? It's 10,000. 10 people invest in 1,000 is 10,000. 20 people invest in 500 equals 10,000. Okay, so that's the math. A lot of times people overthink that. No, we're not overthinking today. What we are doing is action. We are action-oriented folks. So what that money is depends on you. Don't even worry about the numbers I put here, because whatever you charge is at your belief level. So the right invitation. And I believe in simplifying things for people. You have the power to decide what you ask people to invest in. Make it something that you want to offer long term. In this season, I think it's best to have one invitation that you absolutely love instead of several that you just like. If you honed your whole business down to one thing, what would it be? For me, my sweet spot, my invitation is that I love to help my clients to use their knowledge and expertise that they've gained in corporate careers and other places they've garnered experience to increase their income online. That's what I love to do. That is, I wake up and go to bed on that. That's what I do. Now, the right people. You have the power to decide who you want to serve. The right people for your invitation are the people who say yes to you, whether it's to a free offer or a paid offer. If it's free, people say yes with their time. If it's paid, people say yes with their money. Visibility plus credibility equals cash. So visibility is the art of being seen, right? It's the way you put things out. Credibility is that know, like, and trust factor. Cash, well, we all know what cash is. So visibility, there are people who are highly visible, who are not credible. We wouldn't trust them to do anything for us, but they're out here being seen, right? There are people who are highly credible. We trust them. They're our best people. We love them, but nobody else knows about them except for us. I'm sure y'all could put people in different pockets, those 2 different pockets I talked about. If one of those things are off, then the whole thing is off. So that is the difference between Sarah in your neighborhood, Sarah who's the Girl Scout leader troop, Sarah at your church, then Sarah Lee who makes billions of dollars from her recipe, right? Sarah Lee might not even be the face of the company, right, anymore, but we know her name or the name that the company is. Y'all see what I'm saying? Sarah Lee or Sarah, whoever this is that y'all know, she's not making the money. So visibility plus credibility equals cash. If you honed your whole business down to one group, who would they be? For me, my right people are Christian women who are career driven, who want to enter my invitation. That's my right people. That is who I'm calling out to. Not saying that I can't help somebody else, but we have to hone this down because we don't have time, effort, or energy. Our brother just a moment ago, he talked about that time. Y'all, we don't have time to keep going after anybody, lottie-dottie, everybody. We've got to be in a space where we are calling in the right people. So here are the Click the Cash strategies. Here's how you can take your knowledge and expertise and monetize it, okay? Y'all might want to take a picture, screenshot. Ebooks, memberships, digital classes, virtual events, coaching, affiliate sales, and virtual speaking engagements. Those are the ways that I've monetized and I've broken the stats to be someone personally who has gone through all kinds of financial hurdles in my life, from bankruptcy to eviction to repossession, to also break the stats and become one of those people, because we know that less than 11% of all businesses will ever make six figures. That's a stat. I ain't make it up. You can look it up. And traditionally, women who look like me traditionally make around $28,000 in our businesses per year. So when I say that I make six figures, I've broken the stats. So with this information that I'm giving y'all today. So congrats to you. You made a concrete and qualified decision to be here today. I applaud you on that, for real, because you could be somewhere else. Get your free gift by going to Stevie.com. Now, let me tell you about my name. My name is not one I. It's not an I and an E. It's not all these different creative ways that most people spell it. It's eyes. Stevii. And the way that you can remember it is that the I's in my name stand for increasing income. I hope that I've done that for you today. Thank you.
Oh my goodness. I told y'all that she was a ball of energy. And I absolutely love it always. And if you did not get all of these gems that she has dropped, if you didn't take those screenshots, well, guess what? You need to upgrade your VIP status so you can get these slides, because they will be emailed to you, as well as you can watch the replay. So, Dr. Stevie, guys, make sure you drop your questions so we can get into these questions. We got a good 10 minutes for you guys to get your questions in for Dr. Stevie to answer them. And I know you got some. So, Dr. Stevie.
Yes, ma'am.
What programs do you currently have that people can enroll in so that they can work with you and get that it factor up?
Thank you. So right now, I am working with people basically on a one-on-one basis, not necessarily a group basis, because what I realized is that, yes, it was a lot of group coaching going on, but everybody's not on the same level. And so I'm not taking a lot of clients at all at this time. I always start them with a book. This is where you start. Once you get through the book, it has all the details. Then people can really let me know if they need more help.
Okay, awesome. And people can get your book on your website, or where do they get your book from?
Everything is at Stevie.com.
All right, awesome. So I know that you listed like a whole bunch of different ways that people can actually monetize their it factor. Like, what would you say is like the top 2 easiest ways to get started?
Can I give you one and then do a hack for it instead of 2?
Yes.
Okay, so I like to give people some stats, y'all. So ebooks, I would say. Right now, people love ebooks. We love the printed book, and I am a fan of the printed book, but ebooks is an easy way. Most of us have done some sort of speaking engagement. We've done some sort of podcast. We've done some sort of live stream where we can literally take the information, transcribe it, make it pretty, and upload it on a site. We can do that today. We don't have to wait till tomorrow, next week. We can literally do that today. So take the information, download it, take your audio, make it into a transcript, make it pretty, make it nice, make it look presentable, and then sell it.
Awesome. Okay, so we have our first question up. It's, what's your biggest tip for someone just starting out?
My biggest tip would be to figure out what you want to do. That's the biggest thing, because there's so much stuff to look at that you could be doing something that is not in congruence to who you are or what you want to do. So I feel like write down all the things that you're really excellent at, that you feel really excited about, really have fun from. Write that down. And then, y'all, don't sleep on ChatGPT. Do not sleep on ChatGPT. Put that information in there and say, what kind of business should I start? I think so many times we're overcomplicating the process. When I started back, I feel like I've been in business forever. When I started in business back, it'll be 15 years, I think, in business for me this year. So think about it, 15 years ago, the world did not move like it does. And even looking, with the content creation, that's something you could do. Affiliate marketing, those are things that you can do right now. It does not have to take extra time, extra energy. You don't have to create something that's already been created. So I think that is important to really figure it out, get some clarity on what it is that you're doing.
Awesome. Now, you mentioned affiliate marketing. Now, I know you, so I know what you be out here doing. I see you. I think I see you more on TikTok than anything. And you have gotten some brand partnerships and things like that. Can you talk about that process really quick?
Yes. I love TikTok, you guys. I love TikTok. One of the things that I've realized is that I move at high frequency. I move fast. I like to get results fast. And that's what that app gives me. So when it comes to the brand partnership, when it comes to affiliate marketing, those things, one thing is to become visible and really talk about the things that you love. So for me, I do love speaking to brands about health and wellness, whether it be mental, financial, physical, all the things. I love to do that. I put content out about that. TikTok Shop is a whole thing that, depending on your account, you're able to tap into. And so brands work in partnership with you to for you to market their products. And the beautiful thing about that is I don't have to have inventory of things I do not want at my house. I just literally market. And that's something that I've been marketing for about 25 years. So for me, it's easy to do that. But at the same hand, it just makes life so much easier. I just market whatever it is and send it out. But the step beyond that is when brands start paying you for what is called UGC, or user generated content. And you just make videos based on what it is that you are marketing for them. So there are multiple ways to work with brands. And for me, that is the next step.
Awesome. Like, guys, I hope that you are taking notes. You have your notebook out. You're getting all of this information. And make sure that you're following her on all of these platforms, whatever, so you can get a really good idea of how she uses her gifts to, turn those clicks into cash. So how can people actually find you? What's your handle on the platforms that you use the most?
So, really spell my first name correctly, Stevii, because I'll be the only one who comes up who looks like this. But my handle is just JUST Stevie, Stevii.
Right. Awesome. And we have another question. How does one get started in working with brands?
So you can, for affiliate marketing, which is one of the chapters in my book, but affiliate marketing is easy. Look at whatever brand, right, you want. What's your favorite product, Lanisha? What do you like to use the most? Besides Vonza. But what,
Oh, of course, my own brand, Happily Naturally Me, natural skincare products, guys. Go check it out.
Yes. So with that, like if Lanisha was doing her affiliate marketing program, because a lot of brands made like cosmetics and skincare and different things like that. And all kinds of brands have an affiliate program now because they realize that influencers are the way to go versus a lot of commercialism. You just reach out, like y'all know a brand owner, many brand owners in here, ask them, do they have space or capacity to hire someone to help them with their marketing in that regard? So the easiest way, if you know someone already who is building a brand, who wants more people to find out about what they're doing, reach out to them personally. The second way that you can do that is to go to the website. Like, for example, I don't know, the website of
Fenty.
Who? Fenty?
Fenty.
Yes. Fenty. So you could go there. They may have on their affiliate information. Most companies now have some sort of ambassador, affiliate, something that's going to be at the bottom of their website. So you can just sign up. Now, if you don't want to go the affiliate way, then you're going to have to you're going to have to, for one, bring something to the table. Your content is going to have to be at a space where they would invest more money in you. Most people now want to do the affiliate marketing route because they're not really losing anything, right? They're not, for me, if I sell a product, then you're not paying me in advance. So it is a little bit more work to do UGC work or brand work with companies because they might not know what you're going to do besides make the video. So affiliate marketing, no one really loses. And that is a way I would suggest that a lot of people start, because you've not been proven to be able to sell a product or, be able to be the face of someone's product. So we all have to start somewhere, and affiliate marketing is the easiest step to take. And you don't have to even do that through an app as far as like TikTok. I am part of the TikTok shop and the affiliate for their brands there, but you could be an affiliate for any brand that has the program.
Awesome. Yes, guys. So you can actually be an affiliate for Vonza. So if you are someone that's in that tech space, like you do, like you're a coach or whatever, you build websites, you can sign up to be an affiliate of Vonza and then recommend the platform to your customers. And that is another income stream for yourself. So go check that out, Vonza.com. You'll be able to see the information there. But guys, thank you for tuning in to Dr. Stevie. And thank you, Dr. Stevie, for being a guest speaker on, our Make Money Online Summit. You gave a lot of information, so I hope that you guys took some notes. And if you didn't, upgrade your status to VIP so you have access to this replay. But I am going to bring up our next speaker here.
Thank you for the
She is
invitation.
backstage. Yes, thank you. Bye. Our next speaker, I'm gonna tell you a little story before I bring her up. So her name is Karika Williams. I met her years ago when my son, he's 14 now, when my son was probably like 2-3 years old, and she was hosting this meetup for entrepreneurs. And I was like, I wasn't even an entrepreneur at this time. I was just like, but I was starting to get into this space, and I was really starting to, start my natural skincare brand, which is Happily Naturally Me. You guys can go check that out at happilynaturallyme.com. But I was like, let me get out of the house. Like, I am, not that I'm tired of being a mom, but everything I do is mom related, and I need to be around some grownups, right? So I went to this event, and we've been connected ever since. And she's held things, and I've attended. And she's been absolutely amazing. She just started this line of cookies, and I haven't tasted one yet because I have not had the opportunity, but she is a branding specialist, and she is going to give you some tips on how to brand your business properly so that way you can scale. And she has this whole presentation for you, and I hope that she is ready to go. So I'm going to bring her up here. But one more time, guys, make sure that you are upgrading your status. And we have a sale going on right now. Let me bring it back up here for you so you guys can make sure that you get that code. Oh, there we go. Use this coupon code and you will be able to use Vonza for 50% off for the first 3 months. Okay? This deal is not going to last forever. So you want to make sure that you jump on this now before it's gone. And there's 3 different platforms that you can choose from. Pick the one that fits your business the best. And without further ado, I am going to bring Karika Williams up to the virtual stage.
Hey!
Hello.
How are you? I can't believe it's been that long. Like, I can't believe your son was that young. When you said that, I was like, it was not that long ago.
Yes, it was.
That's crazy. It's like a decade. Right? Well, thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you for participating, and you're about to give all of this wisdom to all of the Vonzanites tuning in. So I'm going to leave the stage, and I'm giving you access. Are you sharing anything today on the screen?
Yeah. So I did send over my slides. I don't know why it didn't happen, but I'm gonna go ahead and pull it over.
Okay. Awesome. So while she is bringing that up, I hope that you guys have been enjoying this. Make sure that you're sharing this wherever you're watching. Make sure you are sharing this to your friends. Okay. This is super important. If you're watching Facebook, drop it in those groups. If you are watching it on YouTube, send the link to somebody, whoever. But this is going to be life-changing for someone. It's life-changing for a lot of people, actually. So make sure that they are getting this information. Okay, guys? All right, so let's bring her up to the screen. There we go. And I'm going to jump off.
Am I
And
sharing?
there you go. Yep, you are. I can see
Okay.
it.
All righty. Thank you so much. As long as you can see. First, I just want to thank Lanisha for thinking of me and bringing me on the platform today. And I got a lot of stuff to drop, a lot of nuggets to drop in your ears. So I'm going to jump right in, and I talk kind of fast. So if I'm speaking too fast, just make sure you make some notes and I'll be able to answer you at the end. All right, so let's get to it. First, I want to welcome you to Start, Grow, Sustain. I'm going to give you 4 secrets to propel your business. So this right here is for that individual that either has a business, is starting out in business, is curious about entrepreneurship, or is just stuck where they are in entrepreneurship and hasn't been able to get to the next level. So I'm Karika E. Williams, now flipping. I've gotten married 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago. I empower and provide entrepreneurs and small business owners with the techniques to start, to grow, and sustain their business. Starting a business, growing a business, and sustaining a business are all 3 different things. It's your time to thrive in the business that you know you are called and equipped to do. So get those pens and notebooks and let's drop and jump right into it. First and foremost, let me tell you a little bit about me. I'm a single mother. I was raised by a single mother, and I watched my mom work 2 and 3 jobs just to maintain our home and to maintain my education. Since I was a young child watching my mom, I'm like, I want to have my own business one day. I want to work for myself because I watched her work so hard and diligently for others. It fueled like a young entrepreneur in me. So I did lemonade stands. I did babysitting services. I did everything because it was my desire to be my own boss and to have my own company. Now, as an adult, I continued with that dream. I graduated from business school from Temple University, Fox School of Business, go Owls, cheery and white. And I thought that I had everything that I needed to start my own business. Well, I landed my first job post-college and I made the most money that I ever had made at that time as a young adult. I stayed there for 2 years and then I quit. I started a cleaning company called Faithful Cleaning because, again, I'm like, I want to have my own business, so I'm going to quit. And that's what I did. But I wasn't ready. I started the business, but I couldn't sustain the business. It really was no problem starting. The problem was keeping it going and actually making money while doing it, right? So I returned to corporate America and I began managing offices and establishing brands and building strong teams. But it was during my time in corporate where I gained experience in marketing and leading administrative departments while I was providing small business consulting as a side hustle because I was really, really good at helping other people grow their business. It was like I went to school, I had the knowledge that other people needed that maybe did not have that same information that I had gotten from business school. So I started doing that on the side. But here's the thing. I had a business school degree. I had 15 years experience working in corporate America, helping companies and brands grow. And I had 10 years experience providing business consulting to small businesses. But for me, none of that mattered when it really came to starting, but sustaining my own business. Although consulting is a business, I love doing it. Coaching, I love doing it. But for me, it was something more that I wanted when I said business. I wanted to create a legacy, generational wealth for my daughter and my granddaughter, something that would extend beyond a business, that just a business model that meant that I had to do all the time, something that wasn't that I could pass down through legacy. Now, I failed so many times, but my success isn't found in how many years I have. It's not found in how many years of schooling I have or how many people that I helped coach and consult and bring through. It's in how many times I failed along the way, because it was in my failure that's where I really learned how to succeed. I had a great business idea, but I lacked direction. I lacked strategic planning and the essential business blocks to start and sustain. So that's what I'm going to give you today. It was through my own trial and error that I developed this simple 4 steps that I'm going to show you right now on how to not only grow your business, but to sustain your business. So here are the 4 secrets. And y'all know they're really not secrets, right? It just sounds cute. Secrets, 4 secrets to start. All right. So the first thing is you have to learn how to rise. It's RISE, RISE. It's an acronym. The first secret, the first thing you have to do is to recognize. That's the first thing you have to do when you want to grow, when you want to sustain, and before you start a business. And it's 2 parts. First, you have to recognize who you are and what it is that you can do. You have to get out your own head and recognize the potential that you already have. So many people stay stuck in the I want a business, I want to do this, I want to do that. So many people stay stuck in their mind of having a business, what the business is going to look like, but they don't move forward into actually executing it because of so many reasons that are probably we can't list. Like people don't think they're smart enough. They don't think they have the years of experience. They're afraid of failure. They don't want to get their face out there in front of people. So many different things. You have to get out your own head and you have to take risks. You have to take chances and you have to understand that failure is not the end. Every time you fail, it's an opportunity for you to learn to move forward. That is before you can do any type of thing in business, is to get out your own head, stop guessing yourself, demolish imposter syndrome and all of that other junk, and get out there and grow the business that you know you're called to do. That is the very first thing, is to recognize, part 1. But the part 2 of recognize is you have to recognize the need of your business. Your business has to fulfill a need for your customer. That's first and foremost. In other words, every business has to solve a problem for its customer. You have to provide a solution. That's your job, is to provide a solution to the problem that your customer has. Here's an example of exactly what I'm talking about. But before I get to the example, if your business does not solve a problem, you don't have a business. You might have a hobby because you're doing something. It might be making money. You might be having fun, but you're not actually building a business, because every business has to have a solution that is providing for its customer in order for it to grow and to scale. And when you grow a business and scaling a business, they're 2 different things. When you're scaling, that means at the same rate that you might be expanding or not expanding, your profit and your revenue margin, both of them are increasing. That's when you scale. When you're growing, you can literally grow out a business. You can grow and you may not be able to sustain the growth that you're bringing in. You may not be able to sustain the amount of people that you are bringing in, or your products may not be able to sustain it. So it's one thing to grow, but you want to be able to scale as well. How many restaurants and stores have you seen open? You're like, oh, they're going to do so decent. They're going to do so great. And then you drive by and it's like, dang, the building is abandoned. They didn't make it. They weren't scaling. They may have been growing, but they weren't scaling. So here's an example here, okay? A little chart. The problem is what your customer has. The solution is what your business has. When those 2 come together, that's when you make your money. That's when you begin to have transactions. The problem might be dry hair for your customer. The solution that your business is going to have is lasting moisture. Of course, you want to reach out to people that have dry hair, but you don't want to say, hey, I got the solution for your dry hair. No, you want to make sure that you are letting them know that you have a product that supplies long-lasting moisture, because this is what your customers are looking for. They don't care about if it adds volume. They're not searching for if it repairs split ends. They're not looking for if it reduces frizz. In the process of trying one product after the next, they are searching for the solution that your business might have. And that would be the long-lasting moisture. Once you find that right product that provides the solution for your problem, that's when a sale takes place and will continue to take place. And that's when we start to scale, as long as the solution is provided well. Your business provides a solution and your customer will gladly give you their hard-earned money for a problem solved. So therefore, both sides win. Never take it for granted when a consumer chooses your business to invest their money in. It doesn't matter how much something costs. The fact that somebody has worked hard and they want to give you their money, it's a big deal. Now, this applies to every business under the sun. Some people are like, no, it doesn't really apply to me. Like, how can my business solve a problem? I just, sell keychains. I just sell socks. I just sell lotions. Yeah, it does. You may say those things, but in reality, it doesn't matter what your product is. It doesn't matter what your service is. You have to get to the core of the problem of your customer, which is the solution, and you sell that. So you get it? You sell the solution, not the product. Let's break it down again with another example. Let's do a non-tangible product. The product here is credit repair services. The customer, what do they have? Bad credit. They have bad credit. What is the solution that your company is going to sell to them or provide? And I know what you're probably thinking already. I know what we're going to sell. I know what we're going to sell. We're going to sell better credit. We're going to sell disputes. We're going to sell score increases. No, you don't sell better credit. You don't sell, we're going to eliminate disputes. You don't even sell the fact that you're going to increase their scores, because this is what the consumer is already expecting to be done. And they can go to any credit repair service and have this done, because the truth is, they're not searching for these things. What they're searching for in reality is they want the rewards of better credit. They don't actually want better credit. They want what better credit gets them. So that's when you begin to realize, okay, the solution that I can give them is what? What can I give them? Here's the same example. The problem they have is bad credit. You can sell them home ownership. The product is credit repair services. That's not the solution. The customer's problem is bad credit. The solution that you can provide to them could be home ownership. The consumer wants home ownership. They want their dream car. They want to invest. They want higher credit limits for larger purchases. They want the rewards of what better credit gives them. That's the solution to their problem. So you can say something along the lines of, hey, ABC Credit will have you on your way to home ownership in less than 12 months with their credit repair and restoration services. You don't want to say ABC Credit will dispute all your negative remarks or increase your score by 50 points. Because guess what? Some people really may not know what that means, but they know what they want. They don't know what increasing their score of 50 points mean, but they do know that they want to own a home in the next 18 months. So that's what you want to sell. You want to recognize what the need is of your customer, and then you want to sell them the solution. Now you might say, well, if I just say home ownership, then I'm not going to get anybody. Don't think like that. I'm going to tell you why with the next secret. So think about all the products that you use and begin to question, why do you use them? You don't necessarily buy everything because of the product, but you buy the product because of the end result that it gives you, which is the solution. Now, secret number 2 is to identify. You need to identify your target audience, your people, your tribe, your group. A target audience is a unique group of people that your business provides the solution for a problem that they have. So your target is connected to your recognizing the need. You're recognizing the need of the group of people that you want to sell to. You know that our customer from example 1 said, hey, what is the problem, right? We had to find the problem for what they were looking for. That's your target audience. Your business has to target a specific group of individuals who are seeking the solution of who you're selling it to. So you might say, from example 1, oh man, if I just say something like home ownership, I'm going to miss out. No. You want to target a specific group of people, because you have to understand that everyone is not your target market. Just because everyone has money and everyone can use what you have, that does not mean they're your target. Everyone is not your customer. Yes, everybody can make a sale. Yes, everyone can come to you to purchase, but no, you do not advertise. You do not try to sell to everyone, because you'll lose focus on the people that really matter. I've coached so many entrepreneurs through this concept, and they stay here for a long time, because this is really where the struggle is, because people fear that, oh my gosh, if I niche down and try to sell to just one group of people, I'm going to lose all this money. But that's not true. When in reality, the more precise that you understand your target audience, the more potential sales and customers you can generate. In this photo right here, why are we going to try to sell moisturizing products to Amy, John, and Roy when they all have oily skin? But we don't know that, but yet we're still trying to sell to them, because we're trying to show just how great our moisturizing products are. We need to concentrate on Lily right here, who could be our target audience, because she's the one that will really benefit from it. So while we're struggling trying to sell to people who don't need it, who really doesn't matter, we're losing the person that actually does matter. So that's when I say you got to adapt to a cute strategy, a customer unique targeting examples. You want to niche down so bad. You want to know everything about who your ideal person is. You want to know where they live, what's their age range, their gender, their marital status. You want to know what kind of TV shows they watch, where do they vacation. All of that stuff begins to break down the type of person that you're going to narrow down who your target audience is. And then you'll begin to have these aha moments, because then you'll begin to know, where should I market? Where should I advertise? What type of events should I do? And then that begins to get you out of that circle that we stay stuck in of just our family and friends circle. You know what I mean? Like our Facebook friends on our personal pages, or our real life family and friends. We think that they're supposed to be the ones that break us free. But in actuality, just because they're your family and your friends doesn't mean that they're your target audience. They're not the people who is supposed to be, that you're supposed to give your all of your knowledge to. You want to move from the family and friend zone where you try to grow your business. You want to stop all of that. You want to identify who your person is, because it's such a big world out here. Look at how big this world is. And we get so stuck in trying to sell to the small circle of people that we know, when we identify who we're supposed to sell to, who our target audience is, and the solution that we provide to them. We'll begin to open doors and we'll begin to grow our businesses. Secret number 3 is you want to strengthen. You need to strengthen your brand. We heard our speaker before speaking about branding and speaking about brands, You need to strengthen your brand. You have to strengthen your brand, because your brand is the perception that people have about your business, your product, and your service. So your brand is what you portray, or what you say your business is to be, because people can only perceive what you tell them. Your brand is going to separate you apart from your competitors. Your brand is who you are, or who your business is. Sometimes your brand could just be you, right? You have a lot of personal brands out here. What separates you from the group? Or your business in itself is a brand. Your brand is the unique footprint that draws your target audience to choose you over the competition. Secret 1 and 2 coming together. Your brand is the unique footprint that draws who? Your target audience to choose you, because you're providing the solution in a better way than your competitors. Your brand in itself is how you want your customers to feel when they think about your business. How should they feel? Your brand has a personality that speaks to your target audience. They are listening. There are 5 elements of a brand personality. There's sincerity, excitement, competence, sophistication, and ruggedness. These are the personalities. So when people look at your brand, when people are looking for your brand, or they know your brand, they're coming to it because of some of these reasons. Okay, is the brand sophisticated? Is it luxurious? Okay, isn't it exciting? Is it a lively brand? Is it sincere? Is it wholesome? Is it honest? Is it down to earth? Is it positive? What do people feel when they are drawn to your brand? What is your brand personality? Because consumers purchase, support, and follow brands, not so much the company, but the message and the feel behind the company. Don't think that your company is so great, so people are just going to connect to it. No, they're connecting to what it is that your business that stands for. Your company colors, your logos, your mission statement, the language that you use to communicate, all of these things are oftentimes confused as your brand, but they're not your brand. These make up your brand identity. So think of it as a person. Think of it as you. You have certain characteristics and identities about yourself that make you up. Excuse me if you hear my dog in the background. She's suffering from separation anxiety. And if you don't hear her, then just pretend I didn't say that. Now, you want to make sure that your first point of interaction with your customer should display your brand. And your brand is to remain consistent. Your identity is to remain consistent. Again, thinking of yourself. If someone knows you, they know certain things about you. So if someone tells them something about you, they can easily say, no, that's not her. That's not him. That doesn't sound like them. That's how your brand identity is supposed to be mixed into your brand. People are supposed to be able to identify who you are or who your brand is just by looking at it or by the feel that it gives. Let's look at this example. Who is this? We already know, right? It's Apple. Apple's brand is high-end products. It's unique designs. Every Apple store that you visit is going to have the same bright, open, clean concept with helpful employees. It doesn't matter if you go to an Apple store in Minnesota, if you go somewhere in Asia, it doesn't matter. You're going to see the same type of store with the same type of concept, with the same type of layout, because that is their brand. Their brand identity is through their logo and their colors, and their brand personality or their brand is luxury high-end products. You're not going to walk into an Apple store and be blinded by yellow lights. You're not going to walk into an Apple store and find a product under a certain price tag, because their price of high end is a part of their brand and who they are. That is what separates them from other people and from other phone companies. Of course, there's a whole lot of other things too, but you're getting what I'm saying. I hope so. Now, your company email, the colors, your personality, and even your fonts, they should remain consistent across the board. This might seem like it's a really minute thing, but it's not. It's consistency that draws in repeat customers. Your color should not be changing. Your fonts should not be changing. When you're doing certain advertisements, when you're doing posters and flyers and t-shirts, your fonts, your colors should remain consistent so that they can identify you. You already know that red Target sign. You already know that yellow arch. You know those colors by the brand by the colors. So what should you do as an entrepreneur, as a business owner? You need to purchase your business domain name, whatever it may be. Getyourbusinessname.com. Oh, I'm not in business yet. Still try to grab it. And if it's not available, let's say yourbusinessname.com is not available, try to get your business name and then put something else at the end of it that may make sense, like the city you're from, the area you're from, your zip code, your area code, something along those lines to get it as close as possible to what it is that you need. And if you can, you want to purchase your own name as well. Doesn't mean that you have to use it in business, but you want to purchase your own name just to have smart business practices. You want to stop using free email service providers like Gmail and Yahoo. Nothing's wrong with them. That's all great. But guess what? They already have money. They don't really need your advertisement, your business. You want to keep a mindset of a company, of a corporation. You can get your own businessname.com. There are actually free services out here. You could try Zoho.com for off the top of my head that I do know of. You want to use consistent colors in all of your messaging and all of your marketing materials, photos everywhere. Find your HEX number and use that. You know this little color picker thing right here that you might see when you picking colors. This is an HEX color picker. Every color is assigned to a number, and you want to actually get your number because, hey, what you say, my logo color is blue. You're working with a graphic designer. He's about to design your postcards. He's about to design your website and your t-shirts. You tell him that your colors are blue and white. Okay, what color blue? Look at all of these shades of blue. No, you get the exact color that your company logo colors are, and you give him, hey, my HEX color or my color blue is 003166. Therefore, it remains consistent across the board no matter what. You want to pick consistent fonts for marketing, business cards, brochures. Here we go. ABC Demolition Company or ABC Demolition Company. Your font is also attached to your brand personality. Which one fits better? Is it like the little silly font at the bottom, or is it the more strong font at the top? It makes a difference in what it is that you are doing when you're trying to strengthen your brand and strengthen the message of your business. Lastly, secret number 4, you want to equip. You want to equip yourself for success. First thing is separate all your personal and business matters. Yes, separate all of that stuff. Your banking, you're growing a business and a brand, and everything you do should reflect professionalism and consistency. Your professionalism is going to differentiate you from others doing the same exact thing you are doing. You want to also separate everything because it helps to move you from out of that circle of my family and my friends, right? Because it's like, if you keep everything that's not, if you don't separate your business and your personal, then they don't really know, is this a business? It's personal. Oh, let me help her out. She's growing her little business. No. I got a real business that I'm doing here. It's a big world out here. You got a big audience. There are people out here that want what you have. If it's a business idea or or a business that you're already starting, don't be discouraged. You just got to tap in because this world is so huge. There's somebody right now looking for exactly what it is that you have or exactly what it is that you are thinking about starting. You want to make sure that after you decide to run your business, whether you are a sole proprietor or an LLC or whatever way you choose to decide, you need to proceed the right way, and you need to separate your email address, your bank account, your mailing address, and your phone number. Separate these things. You do not want them blending in. Open up a business checking account. Open it up. You need a business bank account. We already talked about you needing an email address, but you need a business bank account. There are plenty of free ones that are out there, or you can just simply Google free business checking accounts. There's Citizens, PNC, Navy Federal. There's Bluevine, Novo, and Relay. There are virtual banking options, just to give you a few that are out there. Your mailing address. You might want to choose a mailing address that is a virtual office or a virtual address if your business is not operating outside of your home per se. And this can be iffy. Like, yeah, it's really good to have a PO box or just a virtual address, but if you're using your home address as your place of residence, as your place of business, it's not hard for people to find your address. But when you're sending things out, you might want to use a virtual address just to keep that professionalism for you. You want to have a separate phone number, a business phone number, and you can get any Google number, you can get any free line number just to have, so that, hey, people are not always calling you on your personal line. That's first of all. There are too many free or low cost VoIP or internet phone options out here. You don't want people calling you on your personal line, because guess what? If I'm in my ride and I'm blasting music and then I see a phone call, I'm like, oh, I'm not sure who that is. So I'm going to grab it, and then I get it, and then bam, it's a business call, and I really wasn't prepared to answer it. So that's really not too professional. You want to prepare a business plan and a business model. A business plan is a written document that outlines your business goals and how you plan to achieve them. It can be short and to the point. You don't need all these graphs and all this stuff in the beginning. You don't need 25 pages. Write out your plan. What are you doing? Who are you serving? How are you going to do it? And what's the benefit that you're going to give them? Then you need to know what your business model is. And your business model is just the way your business plans to make money from its products and your target audience. What is your business model? How do you plan to make money? You want to operate your business the right way. You want to get out of that hustle mindset, and you want to step into a CEO mindset. And it is never, ever, ever too late or too early in your journey to do that, because so many people and entrepreneurs, small business owners, they get stuck trying to perfect the things that just don't matter as much, like website designs, catchy phrases, and logos, all of that stuff. None of that matters. None of that matters as much in the beginning. You will literally redo your logo over and over and over again, and you're not making any money. You want to make sure that, yeah, all of these things are in line, but you don't need all of that at first. Get yourself a basic website if you have to. Partner with somebody that may already be doing something similar to what you're doing. Don't worry about how many likes and follows you get on social media. That does not equate to how much money you're bringing in at the end of the day. Someone can have 2.5 million followers and not make any sales. Someone can have 500 or 50 followers and be making consistent sales, because they're narrowing in on what the need is that their customer need, who their audience is, and they're making sure that their brand is strong. So don't get stuck on those things, because that's all smoke and mirrors. Worry about growing your business, identifying who your audience is, and strengthening your brand. That's where you want to get stuck at. Okay. So that's it. That's what you want to do. You want to rise. You want to recognize who you are first before you do anything, and what you can do. Recognize the need of your customer, because they're looking for the solution to the problem that they have. Know who your audience serves, strengthen your brand, and equip your business. Here's a real life application for myself. I started a cookie business 12 months ago. I had no cookie baking experience or no experience in that niche whatsoever. All I know is how to build business. All I know is administrative tasks. All I know is that one end. But here's the thing. I experienced grief for the first time in my life after losing my uncle in 2023. He was my best friend. When I'm telling you, I talked to him every single day on the phone. He was closer to me in age, so we were more like brothers. I was devastated when I lost him, and I did not know how to cope with grief. I thought I was going to lose my mind, literally, not figuratively, literally. And it was through baking that I found healing, and I turned my pain into purpose, and I started Uncle Dave's Cookies last March of 2024. That right there is my story. That's a part of my brand, and that's how I connect with my audience. I recognized who I am. I know I'm not a trained baker, but I don't let that deter me, because I'm confident I have the skill and the mindset to succeed. I recognize the need of my customers. Not only do we sell quality products for those, but we have big, soft, stuffed cookies with a mission and a purpose in the grief and the sympathy market. Then I was able to identify my target market. I was able to identify who it is that we serve and why. And from this, I know, where do I market? What type of events do I do? What type of cookies do I make? Because now I'm able to trickle down and realize everybody's not my audience. Everybody doesn't love big cookies. Everybody doesn't want stuff stuffed in the middle of their cookies, and that's okay. Some people like flat cookies. That's no problem. So I'm able to identify who my audience is in their tax bracket or income bracket, because I already know my audience doesn't care about paying $5.50 for one cookie. My audience doesn't mind spending $57 on a large dozen of cookie orders, because I'm confident in what it is that I'm selling, but I also am confident in who my target audience is. Then I strengthened my brand. We got big gourmet cookies. You'll see that everywhere. Our logo colors are everywhere. I'm always telling about my mission, my story. A portion of every sale is used to donate a box of cookies to a grieving family for comfort and hope. I'm branding. I'm using my brand. Everything is consistent. This same font is what you'll see everywhere. These colors everywhere. My cookies everywhere, and everything that I do. I'm always saying, from our kitchen to your heart. I'm always getting it out there. Then I equip my business for success. My website, UncleDavesCookies.com. I have our social media. My business bank account is Bluevine. We're licensed and insured. I have my own phone number. I have to use my mailing address because I'm licensed and insured to operate outside of my. I'm licensed to operate in my home. Because I decided to rise, I set out at events, orders every single week, whether it's one order or we have 100 orders a week. We have corporate sales and offers. We have restaurant wholesale relationships. We have support on social media, and we receive referrals from families who want to refer a family who has lost someone, and we can send them a box of cookies for comfort and hope. Because I decided to rise, and it's going on 1 year now that I just started it, but I applied the same principles and the same techniques that I teach, and I encourage other small business entrepreneurs to do as well. So if I can do it, you can do it too. If the people that I've helped can do it, you can do it too. Don't worry about your schooling. Don't worry about your experience. Don't matter if you're stuck. You've been trying to grow your business for 10 years. You can get out of it and you can rise. Thank you.
That was awesome. Thank you so much, guys. And you see how you can contact her if you have any questions, anything like that. So, well, first, drop your questions so that we can get them answered live here while we have Karika. And
Yes.
why not? Yeah, get your questions answered live. So,
thank you.
I know that you started this new business. I haven't had any time to try any of the cookies.
Okay. That's all right, girl.
But I'm gonna have to get some cookies now because those pictures look good. So when it comes down to outside of the cookie business, like I know that you also had your group, your Facebook group for women entrepreneurs.
Yep.
So how do people work with you when it comes down to, hiring you for services with their branding and marketing? Like, what do you have going on? How do people find you?
Well, they can find me at KarikaEWilliams.com. They can also send me an email at KarikaEWilliams.com. People reach out to me just via my social media, Instagram. Most people will just send me an email. I get a lot of referrals from people that have worked with me. So believe it or not, although I'm on social media, and I use social media as a business model for many years for my coaching, but I would say about maybe 15% came from social media and being online, and the other 80% came from referrals and just being out there and connecting with different people.
Awesome. Now, do you have any branding packages or anything like that people can find to hire you?
Yeah, so when people work with me, the first thing I do is do a quick audit of their business, and then I work with them with the RISE concept, the Rise and Thrive, what I just went through. I help them to recognize what the solution is to their business. I help them identify who their target market is, and that probably takes the most time. And then we work on branding. So yeah, and all of that is on my website at KarikaEWilliams.com.
All right. Awesome. I love it. And you gave a lot of information, especially for the person that has either been thinking about starting a business, or maybe they've already started and they just don't have their ducks in a row yet. So if that is you, make sure that you are rewatching this. That's super, super important. And we do have a question that just popped up. There is a little bit of delay, so make sure that you guys drop your questions so I don't miss them. But what about what is your niche is quite narrow? What does one? Oh, if your niche is quite narrow, what does one do?
Okay, so if your niche is quite narrow, what does one do? What does one do for what? Like, explain, what does that mean? What does one do as far as targeting people, starting out?
Yes, because especially like for example, your cookie brand, you target a specific, like you're really targeting those who are going through grief and things like that. I'm assuming you probably also like, send this care package to someone.
Right, right.
Like,
Okay. So if
yeah.
you, first of all, if you have a niche that's narrow, that's actually the best type of niche to be in. So because the more you can get down like this, and it's better to try to capture the people that are in that small market than the people that are in something like this. Any type of business that you're in, you want to niche down so small that you will target those group of people. Although my cookies, we don't target people that are grieving, because when someone's grieving, they're not really looking for cookies, right? So we're not targeting those individuals, but we are in that market because that's a part of my messaging. So my brand messaging is circled around those that have experienced grief, and people that want to enjoy a product. It might be a premium product that's attached to a mission. So our purpose and our mission is to supply boxes of cookies for comfort and hope to people that are grieving. So we're connecting with individuals that love cookies and love spending money and like stuffed cookies and big cookies and looking for premium quality products, but at the same time, they want to put their money towards something that they know that's making a difference. So it's, you know what I mean? Like, so we're not, if I'm advertising, I'm not advertising to people that are grieving. I'm advertising to people that like big stuffed cookies, that are sweet tooth lovers, that like to indulge in this product. Then when they see it, then they're like, oh, wow. And it has a mission too. The story behind it is something that people are connecting to. So if you have a very small niche and you're trying to narrow down, you want to find what separates you and why people should come to you. What's the story that's attached to you? What is the brand behind that niche? That's really where you want to start. The smaller, the more narrow the niche, the better you will do. Trust me, it'll be so much easier for you to find people that love green marbles than it is for you to find people that love the color green. It's a difference. You know what I mean? Like if you're
Gotcha.
trying to find everybody that loves the color green, oh, I love green. Oh, I like green too. But if you're like trying to find people that just love specifically green marbles, well, first you got to find people that love marbles. So now you go from here to here. Now you got to find people that like what type of specific marble. So then you have here. And now you want people that like green marbles. Now you're here. So now you have a better chance of capturing all these people within this mark right here than all of these people that are in here. Just
Gotcha.
2 people.
Got it. Okay, so next question is, how does one gain the confidence to stand out?
Just by doing it. There's no secret sauce to it. I don't like being in front of the camera. I'm not shy, but I don't like attention on me. There's nothing that anyone can sell you to tell you to make you confident. It's something that you just have to do. You have to realize that no matter what happens, you've got to keep in the back of your mind why are you doing this? Why are you doing it? Just because people are standing up, performing or talking doesn't mean that they're confident. Sometimes people say fake it till you make it. I say faith it. I have the faith in myself that it's going to work. And that's where recognizing who you are comes into play from the rise method. When you recognize who you are, I can't cook and bake. Right now, I'm on here trying to tell people to buy my cookies. I don't know about that. I can tell you about business, but I can't tell you about baking. But I'm confident in myself because I did it. And then you just put yourself out there. It's like, you want to get in the pool, but you keep putting your feet in. And you're like, it's kind of cold. But if you don't ever jump in, you're never going to get used to it. You're never going to experience it. So that's how you do it. You just do it. Don't think about it. Post it. Speak out loud, go on live, make the flyer, go to the event, put yourself out there. And the more you do it, the more comfortable you'll get with it.
Awesome. I love it. And I might make some football fans mad at me real quick, but I remember listening to Deion Sanders one time, and he was talking about how he created this whole entire personality. And I'm pretty sure, again, this is where I'm probably going to make some football fans mad at me, but I think prime time, like that was a character that he created so that way that he could get attention and stand out. Like
Right.
that is not how he is 24/7. Like that is
Right.
not his normal personality. It's something that he put together so that he can stand out and
Right.
be noticed. So if you have to do that for yourself, nothing wrong with that.
That's what you better do. You do have to, if you're selling your brand. And as we said in Rise, your brand has to have a personality. So you have to adapt to that personality if you're selling it. It's you are not, you yourself may not be exciting and lively, but that might be your brand. So if your brand is an exciting and a lively event planner and you're shy, you can't get up there and say, well, I'm exciting and a lively event planning. It won't work. Like that's how we can talk when we're just having a regular conversation. But if my brand is lively and exciting, I have to portray that because that's what's drawing people in.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you so very much. I know I kind of kept you over a little bit, but it's all good. It's all good.
I have fun.
You gave so much information, so thank you so much. I appreciate you gracing, the Vonza virtual stage. So, guys, that's it. That is it for day 2 of the Make Money Online Vonza Summit. So I'm gonna take you off screen now. Enjoy the rest of your day. So, guys, one more time. If you have not upgraded to VIP status, make sure that you do that so you can have access to these replays. You will be given the slides as well if you are a VIP member. So you can, watch these at your leisure. Because yesterday's session was 4 hours. Today we are, a little over 3 hours, and we want to make sure that you are getting all of this information. We are putting this summit on so you can stop making excuses. Like, all of our speakers have given so much knowledge for you to implement into your business, into your lifestyle, so that you can stop making excuses and start taking some real control. You have the power to be the author of your own story. And I like to say, stop giving that pen to someone else. I come from corporate America. I was so miserable at my corporate job. And I just used to sit there and envision myself, working for myself, having my own time freedom. And I got to a point where I was tired of being tired. And I wish that I would have left corporate America so much sooner, but I didn't have that confidence yet. I didn't believe in myself. I was allowing someone else to write my story for me instead of me writing my story myself. And it was mainly because of my limiting beliefs. I was allowing other people to project their insecurities onto me. And I was taking those on, like, are you crazy? You can't leave your job. Like, you're a mom, you're a single mom, you have bills to pay. And I'm like, but why? And I made a lot of people mad, but I ended up finally getting to that point where I had enough confidence to say, you know what? I am done with this. I am going to, and I am not telling you to leave your job by any means, because I don't know your commitment level. I don't know your belief level that you have in yourself, but I knew that I was capable. I got to the point where I started believing enough in myself where I was like, I am capable. I am a hard worker. That same energy that I am putting into a job that I don't even like being at, I could put that into growing my business. I had already been running my business as a hobby, and I needed to make that transition to running it as a real business. And I finally started to do that. And I left my job in 2019, and I have been rocking this whole thing ever since as a full-time entrepreneur. So if I can do it as a single mom with a mortgage, with student loans, with my kid at the time was in private school. When I made that transition, I actually, I had him in private school because it was close to the job that I was working in. It would take me like 45 minutes to an hour to get there. And I was rushing through traffic. It just made sense for me to have him in school that was right by my job. Like, trying to get back and forth was absolutely insane. And I live like in the greater Philadelphia area, and the traffic here is crazy. I know that there's places where the traffic is, even more crazy, but it's crazy here. And I didn't like that. I didn't like that constantly being stressed out, trying to get through traffic, trying to, make sure that I was picking my son up from daycare on time, because if I didn't get there, then I would be charged a fee for being late and all this stuff. Like, that is stressful. So you have to figure out the type of lifestyle that you want to live. And then you have to commit to doing the things that are in alignment with achieving that lifestyle. I wanted a lifestyle of time freedom. And I am not saying that running a business is easy, because it is absolutely not, but I have put systems in place to make it easier for me. And I am constantly tweaking and trying to figure out ways that I'm going to be able to improve and things like that. And I have been able to, have a lifestyle of time freedom. I am a more present mom. Like, I was just having a conversation with my fiance yesterday about the fact that my son had early dismissal. Yes, he is 14. Yes, he can walk to school. He walks home from school, but right now he is in track. They got an early dismissal. And he came home. I have the luxury of driving him back to school for track practice. If I was working, I wouldn't have been able to do that. But because now I'm the master of my own time, I can do that. I can be a more present mom. I can show up to things. Like, I can sit there at track practice and not have to, or soccer. He also plays soccer. Like, and actually show up and not be super rushed and driving myself crazy because I don't know how I'm going to get him to practice on time. And then he's penalized because he's at practice late and things like that. So I am happy with the decision that I made, and I would never, ever, ever change it. I will never go back to a 9-to-5. I am putting that out there. I will never go back to a 9-to-5. It's hard. It is hard, but you have to decide which hard you are going to pick. It's hard being broke. It's hard being stressed out all the time. It's hard running the business, but you have to figure out which hard you are going to accept for yourself. Nothing is ever going to be easy, or at least anything that's worthwhile having is going to be easy. So you just have to figure out where you're going to put your focus. And I prefer to put my focus in building my digital empire the way that I want to build it and live my life the way that I want to live it. And there's levels to these things. I am most definitely not at the level that I want to be at, but I am waking up every single day working towards that. And I have some goals, and I know that you have some goals too. So I hope that you're taking this information that our speakers are giving and you are implementing it into your business, into your lifestyle, and all of those things. And we will be kicking things off tomorrow, same exact time, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, guys. So if you are happen to be catching this and you did not register, make sure that you do register so that way you can get all of the emails and things like that at vonzasummit.com. And if you are registered and you want to upgrade to VIP status, make sure that you can still use that same link and just upgrade so that way you can get the bonuses. You'll have access to the virtual party. After the summit is over, you will have access to a course that will help you grow your business. You will have access to some digital products that you can resell. That have the resale rights to get things started with your digital products and all of these other amazing things. So that is what I have for you guys today. If you have any questions, make sure that you drop them and we'll come back and answer them. And if you are not following me, make sure you are doing that at Lanisha Holland. That's LANISHAHOLLAND. Branding is important. Like, everything that I own is Lanisha Holland. I have lanishaholland.com. I have all of my social media, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. It's all Lanisha Holland. You have to own your name. So I suggest, like Karika said, make sure that you own your domain name, especially if you're someone who is trying to brand yourself as a speaker. Own your domain name. And then, of course, all of my businesses have their own domain names as well. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Rock out. Be your amazing self, because you will be so much happier when you start living in your truth. All right. Bye, guys.